Yay!
Where's your,
Yes, I just
How you
put
call
it somewhere, and I don't know where it is.
cutting direct?
Yes.
You just had
Already.
it?
Yeah. I'd
Whatever.
stand up and search it for now.
Hello, everyone. It's Me Games speaking.
Is it? The comments are really small. Is this
yeah,
forever?
it's okay. I have the comments.
Okay.
It's Me Games. I'm Matthias, the communications lead at Me. We're live from HQ. And with me today, as always, I start with our regular guest, Mo.
Hello.
Moritz Wagner, our head of design. For those who don't know you, maybe you can just quickly summarize who you are and what you do at
Okay,
BBB.
I'm Moritz Wagner, our head of design, which means I, on top of the design department, to make sure that everything works in the design department, do a lot of game design and directing things within that department, and play the game sometimes as well.
And before I introduce you to our special guest, I just wanted to tell you in the chat, if you feel like the sound is off or something, we're too quiet basically, or the game should be a bit louder, tell us in the chat and we can adjust the sound settings. It's always a hassle with the sound settings, but and then now our special guest this time, it's Fridolin
That's my name.
Kerner.
That's my last name.
Yes.
Nice.
Maybe you can tell us who you are, what you do at BBB.
Yes, I'm Fridolin Kerner, as Kraut already pointed out. I'm one of the writers at Mimimi. I'm also one of Mo's underlings, as he's head of the design department, and I'm a member of the design department. And I write a couple of things. I've written a couple of things. For the last 2 weeks, haven't written anything and just did some local management, which is just like moving Excel sheets around and stuff. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much. And let's do something.
And of course, we shouldn't forget the man behind the camera, Adriano. He's our communications manager, but he doesn't have a microphone on, so you can't hear him. But yeah, say hi to Adriano, who is like responsible for everything behind the camera.
So if you heard us, it's thanks to Adriano.
Yeah. If you don't hear us, it's also thanks to Adriano. No, just joking. And we wanted to show you today a little bit more of the characters of the Cursed Crew. So just a couple of weeks ago, we introduced you to all the characters of the crew in our characters trailer, which we debuted at the Future Games show end of March. And we thought, hey, maybe we want to, show them in a little bit more detail and talk about the characters, what they can do, what their skills are, how they feel like in real gameplay situations. And Fridolin, as our writer, can also tell you a little bit more about their backgrounds, because he's basically writing the whole story, all the dialogues,
everything.
And he came up with all the characters' personalities, basically.
Well, let's say 50% of them, and then hopefully Hambo, the actual lead writer of the game, is in the chat and can correct me or tell you the actual backstory and not the one I made up on the fly. But yeah, I did write some of them, and I'll probably focus on them a bit.
Yeah,
like
and Mo can tell us a little bit more about their design and why their skills are the way they are.
Exactly, and it's gonna be cool because we can finally, like, if you see a trailer, it's all very cut together, looking pretty and all that, but you don't really see how things actually work in a detail level, and that's something we can show you today, which I'm very excited about because the characters are very cool.
Yes, and I said it in the last stream at least 100 times that we're showing alpha footage, but I'm gonna say this again, because it's just important to know that this is not the final state, basically, or release full game. It's still a work in progress, an alpha version of the game, which means I think this build wasn't tested as much.
That, for example.
They don't see it yet. They don't see it.
Oh, they don't see it yet.
No,
okay.
They see this. What you
oh
see
no!
Here
Okay. Damn, I was just planning it so
but
nicely.
We can show it.
That would be a great example for why.
Yes.
Though I want to mention one thing. Like when we're saying alpha, it's very late. Like we're very close to beta, so the game this is very much what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it already looks amazing, and it's gonna look like that, and or even a little bit more
Exactly.
better. But
Yeah.
I just want to say there might be bugs and
Yeah.
stuff happening on screen.
Yeah.
So don't worry that there's like,
Yeah.
bugs in the game right now, because polishing always comes at the last stage.
Yeah.
And I hope we can get it as bug-free as our previous releases.
Let's hope so. Fingers
yes,
crossed.
Yeah. So maybe we wanna switch to
Yeah,
some
let's see.
gameplay,
Yes.
and we can show you right now the first bug we see here
Yes.
is we have, I don't know, 100, like a dozen parrots
Yes.
flying around the ship, which looks cool, but I think it's not supposed to be like that.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that is a bug, and when I saw it, I was a little sad that we didn't use that for
Yeah.
something. We have all these crew tales on Hub, where there are small
Yeah.
stories that the characters are going through, and this would have been a perfect setup for a crew tale to have infinite
Yeah.
amounts of critters swarming the hub, but we didn't think of it.
Nope.
Gamey Blue on 12 on Twitch says, "Can you keep that bug because it looks good?" It seems.
I mean,
I mean, it looks quite
maybe
nice.
someone's gonna put in an Easter egg that sometimes
a-
it's cranked up to this.
Yeah.
It's a whole parrot
Or
family.
it's actually final. It's just like an environment artist, and it's like, oh yeah, that looks great, and we are just bashing it, and it's actually no bug.
No, it's a bug.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. I mean, I've
We
reported
talked
it
about it
myself
today,
yesterday. Yeah.
And what we're gonna play is we're gonna play a mission on one of the islands you probably already know when you follow us since the announcement, on Red Wine's Cove. That's the one of the biggest islands in the game, which we already showed in a couple of trailers and in our previous live stream. And then after that mission, we wanted to play another mission on a new island, which we haven't shown in a. We showed it before, but just like maybe 5 seconds in the Dev Inside video, but we haven't shown it before in a live stream. So this is gonna be kind of a premiere, so you should stick around until the very
Yes.
Yeah.
end. Should anyway. I just realized that I'm not briefed which of the
It
two
should
missions.
be Bark and Bramble, I think, because it's during the day. And
Yeah,
the other
let's
one is
do a
going to be during
day
nighttime.
mission.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
can show both these.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe nice.
Okay, so
Oh.
we need to do.
Yeah, wait. So maybe Adriano, you can go back to the talk screen real quick,
Yes.
and we're gonna. we still have to.
Okay, yeah. That's why he's head of design, and I'm just.
Yeah,
I know
Right.
the cheats.
He knows the
They
cheats.
don't work.
yeah. You
Yeah,
have to
there-
go on options, and
Okay.
then.
Okay, now it's real.
Yeah.
Quite.
Yeah, sorry, that was my job, and I.
Yeah,
It's easy.
you can like what's the chat currently at?
Yeah,
Which is
maybe
just- yeah.
like there's a couple of.
Maybe
questions
there's a
already.
question that I can like work at. Well, I think you have to enter
You
that.
have to
Yeah.
go on options first,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
a
And
it's a new one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and now you have to also
And
go
then-
on dev.
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So yeah, how big is the studio from Nerulis on YouTube? I think like 35 to
He's
37.
probably talking about square meters, though.
Well, I don't know the square meters
yeah,
of the
yeah,
office.
I presume. Yeah, 30 is a
Wait,
good number.
You have to just disable mission start locks.
Ah.
That's the
Beautiful.
That's why I'm the head of design.
Yes.
I don't know how to cheat, apparently.
And
So
now you have to.
let's just see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The-
it works.
Okay, nice.
Nice. So yeah, sorry. What was the freedom you were?
Yeah,
telling
I
us
was just
about the
guessing,
square
but
meters?
yeah, I was wondering. I think, I mean, but it's a round, it's a round building. It makes it difficult. I don't remember the pi maths, but
But
yeah,
So we don't know the square meters.
we don't know the
that
square
are
meters. We do know that we are around 30.
35.
I mean,
36,
Adriano's
37.
actually. I mean, we used to say
I
that.
have to recount.
Yeah,
actually,
it's just a recount. Yeah. Yeah.
So 36 probably,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
35-ish, 6-ish.
My guess.
Yeah, and yes. So I hope that answers your question.
Yep.
Is there going to be an open beta? No, but we're planning a demo, and I hope we can tell you a little bit more about that soon. So stay tuned for a demo.
Let's go, right?
But we should maybe
Yeah.
start and
Yeah.
go into
Do
the
we
mission.
watch the briefing and everything?
Yeah, let's watch the
Yes,
briefing.
Yeah.
because I think now we have
A bit vague for an island full of
actual
jungle.
voice
Yeah.
Where do we
over
start?
in the game.
Yeah.
The last time it was still robo voice.
How bold of you to enter my domain without even knowing what you are looking
I
for.
wonder whether they hear the game sound.
Ah, Dreadvine.
Okay.
I see you're listening in.
This is my island, Marley. Nothing
I mean,
here
I know the
escapes
text.
my notice or my wrath.
We have come in search of a relic the captain is hidden here. One of bark and cursed bramble.
So,
Yes, game.
know
Sound
the
is clear.
words.
Sound is good.
Great.
then the gambit has begun.
You have it then.
Oh,
What's that?
Until
Okay,
you
bugs.
see it? Nice.
unfortunately for
What is it?
The
The
water.
water's gone.
oh, the water's gone.
ignorant as they
Beautiful.
They had no idea
That wasn't there
what
when
it
I
was.
tested it.
And split it into 3
Oh no, the
parts
water's so
to
beautiful.
receive
It might come back after the
Yeah.
cutscene.
It's okay.
It's a
but here you
50-50
see
chance.
classic work in progress build
Yes.
Since
shenanigans.
nothing on this
I
island
know.
escapes your notice, do you know which 3 it is?
Oh my
That
god!
usually is a beautiful beach.
Yes, you can
Yeah.
see the fishes.
The fish, yeah.
I wished for you to
That's the actual curse. The ocean is gone.
rise. I am happy to oblige.
I was about to say that it doesn't really matter because you're not playing in the water.
Yeah.
usually, but this is the one mission where you actually play in the water a lot.
I wonder how swimming works now.
Listen in on his
I think it's just visual.
conversation, and you may not find the prize.
Now, choose our land.
Well, I hope the water is now there.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Let's see. I mean, in the overview map, it's there, and no, it's gone.
Should we reload maybe?
We could. I mean,
can
I could
try.
save, and I mean, to be honest, I didn't follow the briefing, so but it's one of the missions. So, head of design.
Yes.
What is? Where do I? What's the?
I mean,
the good?
zoom out again so
Yes.
you can see the,
Yeah.
the overview map, and then
Yeah.
you can see that on the right there's the objective icon where
That's
you want to
okay.
go.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it would be wise to choose one of these,
two.
I would choose the right one because I think we played the left one last time, if I
Okay.
remember correctly.
Okay.
The question is if we want to restart the mission to see if the water stays if we skip the briefing.
Okay. I mean,
Which
yeah. So-
Yeah, maybe we should do that.
Okay.
let's do that because I mean we want to swim in that mission, so
So this
Yeah.
is it's a build, right? So restarting doesn't.
it should work.
Because in editor stuff, it usually restarts.
And if it doesn't, we're just gonna
Yeah.
abort.
Yeah.
So yeah, this
Okay.
is the downsides of doing open
Alphabets,
development
yes.
streams.
I mean,
Not
yeah,
all
but-
bugs are like 50 parrots beautifully flying around the ship. Some of them are like, actually, oh, the ocean is gone. Let's hope that doesn't happen live.
We've arrived.
Let's
Okay,
just skip it.
Yes,
now,
let's
right?
skip, and maybe the ocean doesn't
Water,
deload.
please be there.
And
Yay, we have water.
Nice, the simple joys of life. Okay, so I'll select the newly named. Actually, one of the things we do as writers, which Hamburg did, is like actually naming these things nicely. I don't think this was in last time. So Hamburg have all these like all these spawn points and exit points, cool names that kind of. And I think at one point this was just caves or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
There was never a cave. I mean, there was a cave here at some point, I think.
At some point there were
Yeah.
there's still caves, but there were a
Yeah.
lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's spawn at the rocky steps.
Can you just I wasn't like listening to the mission.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's
Can you
sum it
just
up.
re-summarize what's
We're
what's
here
the-
to find basically. So basically, in the story right now, we're trying to piece together a puzzle that the captain of the ship of the Mali gave us. He's not there anymore, and what we're trying to do is find a relic, and it's the relic of bark and bramble, as far as I remember. And it has been there on this island. We've shown it the last time. I think there is a character actually that encompasses the whole island, and it's called the Dreadvine. And we can maybe go to them again, or to him. Well, and that's the Dreadvine. And he's basically talking to us in the briefing already. He knows everything that happens on the island, and the Inquisition is partially there to destroy the Dreadvine because it's a magical entity, and the Inquisition hates magic, as we all know. So what we are trying to do now is get that that relic, and the Dreadvine knows where it is, but it has made a sort of a bargain with the captain to not tell us because it's part of the test that we need to find it. Oh, we have double audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. And that's what we're trying to do basically, and it told us that the Inquisition, like, we don't know where it is, so we need to find out by eavesdropping on a couple of guards at the beach, and that's going to be our first objective, and then we're going to see how it moves from that point on.
Nice. I'm just surfing on the internet. I was just checking whether some friends of mine are watching and writing me, "Oh, you look so shit. Like, change your hair or something," but they don't. Okay, so please, excuse me.
No, I just want to like.
Finally spawn, probably
I just
somebody.
wanted to tell Adriano if if you have the list of the of the voice actors somewhere. Because I had them prepared, but I forgot
Turn the
to
camera.
print them out or something.
Nice.
because there's
Oh,
some
yeah.
nice facts. Like I think like the Dread Wine actually the voice actor is Saltzpyre from
That's the
Vermintide.
case.
Oh, that's
Yes.
Southfire.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
from,
Pyre. That's
from
it.
the
So if you like
Vermintide.
Vermintide,
Yeah.
little Easter egg for you there.
best character.
I mean, these are the facts I
there.
should have prepared because I didn't. I mean, I can. Let's see if we get to
we
somebody.
can, well,
yeah.
while we're playing,
Yeah.
we can have the facts and we
Yeah.
can just drop them. in
Oh,
sometimes.
another. That's a bit darker than it should
I
be.
think here the lighting is broken.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Who do we take on our dark journey?
So yeah, some new characters we haven't
yeah.
shown yet.
Yeah.
So we're talking about maybe Pincus.
Yes.
An obvious choice.
Do we want to play? I think Sulady. We should play Sulady because
Here they have dialogue. I
We
mean,
haven't
they've
shown
seen
her yet.
We haven't. Oh, great.
No. At least not in
Yeah.
depth. And then we could go with either Toya or maybe Teresa or Quentin. I mean, I don't. Whatever floats your
yeah,
boat, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
As long as it's not one of the three we've
I mean,
already shown.
Like, I think I have to select Quentin once to show everybody
That
the
is very true.
greatest select animation in the history of selections. Because I mean, already this, I think Chem and Kay did a wonderful job
Yes.
at this animation. But then I don't know who actually thought of it, but how great is this?
It's the best thing. Like, he's one of my favorite
Yes.
characters in this animation. Just completely
Wow.
underlines why
How
he's
great
so great.
is this? I mean, I don't know if you have to pick him, but you really have to click him and click on him for once. Yeah. So who do
wait,
we?
let's maybe let's
Yeah,
decide
yeah.
the
Oh,
chat
yeah,
now.
the
Yeah, the
chat
chat.
can
Yes,
decide.
final
I
character.
mean,
I mean, actually, you guys could decide everyone if you want to, but
so
Yeah.
someone is Coconut Don, good name.
Good name.
Crossbow Lady.
Crossbow lady. Yep. I mean, we have her.
Also funny because Mattis told me we shouldn't linger too long on that screen because it's broken.
Ah,
and now we're
well,
like,
yeah,
"Yay!"
memory leak. I mean, I can.
So sorry,
Lol.
no, like they know it's broken. So
Yeah,
But
so
is
the
it like
lighting
m-
is broken. It usually looks super moody and
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not some kind of memory leak. Like if we hang
No.
around here for like 20 minutes, then this like the computer burns. Or
I don't-
something.
I hope
Okay.
not.
All right.
So
Yeah.
Toya, please,
Toya,
and
please.
Crossbow Lady.
Toya and Crossbow lady. Okay,
We
then we
have
have to
one
make a
left, so-
sacrifice.
Vote to Quentin.
Yes.
Okay, then Quentin.
Vote to Quentin. I mean, we did sell him. Okay. So that was a
Quentin,
crew
Toya,
then.
and Teresa. Teresa.
Quentin, Toya, and Teresa.
then the next mission we're gonna play.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
others.
that's okay.
Though to be fair, I would suggest that maybe we play Soleil on this one because her
Yeah.
abilities are even better during the
Yeah.
day.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
she can spawn the bush.
Then let me remove Quentin in this specific
Okay, then we
case,
do
and
Quentin
then
next.
when I'm not playing, because like these three characters Hambo has actually written,
Ah.
so while I'm playing I can't talk anyway, and then when we do the
Perfect.
other mission and I'm sitting, I can like
clever,
talk a bit.
clever.
So yes, all right. So if Hambo is in the chat, it would be his time to rise, because I don't know nothing about them. No, that's not true. Nothing. No,
Never
no.
thought about
No. All right, and that's. Oh, and did you see the animation of him? I didn't know that they
saluting
move now.
apparently.
Wow.
Nice capture, Mark.
Okay, great. That's the team. And sorry to the chat person that we ignored and just didn't
It's okay,
pick
we
Quentin.
will
Quentin
take
is going
Quentin
to.
in
Yeah.
the next
Don't
mission.
mind
Yes.
me watching.
All right.
I admit
Oh, sorry. There's a Windows key here where my alt
Yeah,
is.
so,
yeah.
how you will solve
Let's see how you
Yeah,
how
yeah.
you manage
Yeah,
to play
yeah.
like that. I don't think it's that easy.
Not
I mean,
personal
you know.
objects of study.
That's funny. I would just. I mean, I've heard this dialogue 1,000 times. I wonder, like, how's the.
Just keep playing. I think
Yeah.
I don't think we need to like
Okay. Yeah.
pause for every dialogue.
Yeah.
We can like if it's mission objective,
Okay.
then we can maybe. Wait.
Is it awkward if I just change the controls for a second? Because like, okay, because like I'm the one person that actually wants to crouch with shift and wants to activate.
Do it.
Okay,
Look,
let me.
the waves are also not breaking properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
I'm
might
just
be
gonna
some
point out every
controls.
bug I
Yeah.
So that
Maybe I
everybody
should-
knows it's a bug. Yeah.
No, or maybe I shouldn't because then I like you know
wait.
I focus too much on these bugs. No one would have noticed probably.
And then, this is the situation. Does the game actually crash? And this bug I had several times. It's if you change controls, then the game crashes. Yeah, I think the game has crashed again.
Cool. So in half
Oh.
an hour we're gonna be ready.
Again?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
just. I mean, you can just kill it. Press continue. I can also play if it's too awkward for you
No,
with
it's
the-
alright.
with the
It's
thing.
alright. I
Okay.
thought it would be a quick thing, but usually it never is. So do you want me to? I mean,
Or the 4, I guess.
yeah,
there we
that
go.
worked. Okay, nice. But
Soon we're gonna have some gameplay. for
Yes,
this and go.
nice. That's a reoccurring bug because I know that was in the game once, and then I reported it because I'm the one person that changes controls, and then so I report this like every once in a while, and then it works. and then, but now it didn't like I didn't have this bug for a really long time.
Or everyone like dropped. Only one viewer left now.
Damn it. Okay. Continue. It's also good now. I have an excuse if I don't play really well. I don't know actually when the last time was that I like properly played and not just ran through invisibly through all like dialogue triggers, because that's usually the way.
Wow.
Oh,
So
the
that-
save is like crashed to that degree.
Yeah, so we need to, I guess,
Okay.
We need
Yeah.
to hard reset.
Hard
Yeah.
reset. Nice.
cheat there again. Then.
Okay. Well then.
Did you guys do it with unlock everything, or did you do anything?
Now I have
no,
to
we can't
like
do
a
unlock
little bit
everything.
of
Bit of
a little bit
lag.
of magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Wanna-
it's no problem. We can maybe, you know, what you're gonna do. You're gonna tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about the background of the characters
Oh.
we just chosen to play,
The ones we just chosen.
and maybe Adriano can like, I don't know, like
Put a
show us
photo.
some of the concepts or portraits of those characters.
yeah. That's
For example, Toya,
yes.
and I'll prepare the save.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, let's start with the.
Do you want to sit here?
we can
It's
maybe
fine.
start with the gameplay idea that we had in the beginning, or
Yeah.
where they are coming from,
Yeah.
and then see how they develop from a character standpoint. So for Toya, we wanted to go with the typical sort of trap character archetype we have. That would have been Yuki in Shadow Tactics, or Hector in Desperados 3. And Toya was supposed to be that character. But of course, you wanted to basically make him more advanced and special due to him having magic abilities, as with every other character. So it's just not the same as in the old games. And yeah, we will see the gameplay in a minute, and we already showed him another trailer. And he's actually from Japan. And
Correct.
then maybe Fridolin has some information about his story.
Yeah, I was hardly thinking is not the right word. I mean, I was hardly thinking because I'm still like stressed out that I crashed the game to the degree where we had to like fully
It's fine.
things it. I mean, so
But you said it with I don't know, with Ansage.
oh yeah, I called it out. Yeah. So he is from Japan. I don't know. The one thing I'm not sure about, because like I could like probably talk a bit about his background. I don't know if that's like already a bit spoilery or something. I mean, not for him specifically.
You shouldn't like go into like the whole
details.
character mission
So-
details maybe, but
So what I think, I mean, does it? Oh, no, it doesn't show. Okay. I don't know, so much secret stuff on the screen. I'm so nervous now. So I think maybe the process maybe is a bit interesting, like how, because usually what's interesting I think is like Mo and a couple of design people who can design stuff, they just come up with the concept that like the idea he should be a trap character, and then we as writers we receive this briefing like this is the character, that's what he's supposed to be able to do. But there's no like he should be from Japan or he should be a ninja. It's just like, okay, I think like for him it was just like the teleport back aspect. I think
Yeah.
the trap where he can like teleport to, and then like we bounce around like a couple of ideas like how like what could this be in the world, like where we have we can use magic. And like one of the things that came up, and actually won quote unquote our like contest of who gets to own the character design quote unquote, is the whole like I don't actually know what the name of the thing is that Toya throws.
Ooh,
It
I don't
is
know
a-
that
yeah,
either. We'll
yeah.
have to check it
Yeah,
if it's in the lookup.
I think that's actually some because we have like a real expert on like Japanese, like everything Japanese basically, was just Lucas, our character concept artist.
He was there in the last stream.
Yes,
if you guys
the guy
remember.
who can actually play with controllers, for example. And ooh, I'm
we
receiving
should be
some.
back, I think.
Did you
After-
unlock the locks? Remove the locks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after this cutscene plays, we can go
Yeah,
into
okay.
the mission again.
Yeah,
I think.
but let's finish
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I mean, yeah, and then he suggested this whole idea with this little charm he throws. As it's a little ghost fly. I don't know if you have that in the concepts because it's like a very distinct little thing. I can show it in the skills selection. And that was one of the things. And I think he talked with Humbo, who is the owner of that specific character. Yes.
Top
Oh
left,
man,
yeah.
you're really really quick. Yeah, and you can see this little ghost. I think it has a number 3 on it. I mean, I don't think. No, it's just an
I
illusion.
think it represents a person.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
something
so-
to it. I don't know the specifics and for this character as it isn't mine, unfortunately, and I'm never asked. But so that was one of the ideas, and then another idea which I proposed at the time but didn't go through. So I think because I researched a bit in like this whole duality stuff, because I was thinking like, could this be like 2 characters maybe or something? And then I actually found that like the Yoruba people from West Africa, and they have like a very like pronounced twin culture. And I was thinking like, could this character be some sort of a twin person that where like the thing in like one of the twins is dead, and like I think the Yoruba people believe to some to some degree that like twins have magical powers and something, and I thought that could maybe work, but like the pitch didn't like have like hands and feet compared to this one. And yeah, so that's maybe something interesting I could add, like the whole process of like we get the design of like we have this trap, and then we think of things, and like ultimately this one, and now we have this friendly skeleton from Japan who is a cook,
Which is funny because the question from Razor's Head right now was, is there a cook on the ship?
yes,
Yeah, so that's him. That's Toya.
him. Yes.
And there's another thing that's very unique about him is that he only has one arm, which makes him a pain to animate, because a lot of the animations that people use, or we always have to think about which hand do we like. There's animations in the game that every player character can do, right? Because it's like pick something up, and you want to use the same animation for every character usually, because you don't need to do it 10 times because it's not unique. So we need to be careful that it's always the right hand doing things like that, because Toya doesn't have a left hand, or arm specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're
that's-
back.
So we're
now
back.
you have to play classic control.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just the one button. Well, so who did we have? We had Bush.
No,
we had
Sulady,
Sulady. Excuse me.
yeah.
Sulady.
Not
Is it
pink.
Sulady or Sulady? Sulady.
I think Sulady. I think.
Sulady. Yeah.
Sulady.
Yeah.
So Sulady.
Sulady, Toya,
Yeah.
and Teresa, I think. Were
Yeah.
the-
Yeah.
I saw this coming.
Nice.
So yeah, so maybe we can show some of the skills, or like explain
Yes.
a little bit their skills, or
Yeah.
I think we can do that during gameplay, right? I
Mo
mean, we're
can
gonna
lead us.
play, and then when there's a
Yeah.
situation, we can
Yes.
easily highlight one character.
Mo,
First
Mo
thing we
does
can actually see is that, as you know from our games, usually not everybody can swim. So in this case, Teresa is the one that cannot swim.
Yeah.
So you need to play around with that a little bit sometimes, and it can be good or bad depending on certain missions and objectives.
We are
Well,
pirates,
it's seldomly good that they cannot swim, but
not your personal
usually it's bad.
objects of study.
so yeah, this is like the
My God,
key
that was
ability
already
of-
nice. Didn't save. No,
Well,
no, save during alarm. That's how you
Yeah,
do it.
that's how you
Professional
do it.
move.
The good thing is,
I
Now
would
everybody
much
comes.
prefer
Now I
it
played
if
the
you
cheese
let
strat
my
where I kill
crew
everybody
yeah, I mean, you
here.
can just instantly go into combat.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
So the thing that we can see, well, let's talk about the alarm UI maybe, because that's
Yeah.
also sort of new.
Hmm.
You can see in the center of the screen there is this timer that shows you how long the alarm is going to take, and then you can see that small exclamation mark at the where you're fighting right now, and that red circle that
Yeah.
was there. And that would show where the alarm has been sounded, so enemies are going there. So you can play around with that, which is really helpful.
Just I accidentally already did, because
Yes.
I just lured everybody down
And
here.
Something you can show them
Yeah.
now is how Sulady, like we saw her throw the bush
Yes.
up there, which is actually its main ability. It's pretty cool because
Yeah.
it's an actual bush that you can spawn anywhere you want to, and we can use that to A, hide, or B, if we have a pile of bodies down there, we can just throw the bush and the bodies disappear like they would in any bush, which is very helpful, of course. And
Yeah, except the turtle.
Turtle just
She or he doesn't hide.
enjoys the shade.
Oh, did you see how she kind of like walked around the ledge?
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. All right.
The water.
Oh, yeah, the water is
we
like
should,
quite
we should go
strong.
somewhere else so we don't always show the water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
get up. I mean, everybody's dead in that location right now
Yeah, yeah.
because we sneakily took them out.
Yeah.
So we're to remind everybody again, we're trying to get to the beach to eavesdrop. You can
Yes.
maybe scroll there so we can see the guys that we want to eavesdrop
Ooh,
onto.
these folks. Yeah.
That's them.
That's where we're going to go.
Exactly. So we need to get close to them
Yeah.
and listen to what they have to say, and then we might
Yes.
get new information about the mission.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk more about it when we get there, but these types of objective also show what types of characters are good, because I mean, I'm gonna make a little spoiler right now, but if you have a character that can throw a bush and you can hide in that bush, that can be very helpful when you need to eavesdrop on somebody, because maybe you can just sit next to them in that bush. But we'll see how that works out.
We'll see if I figure that out. Okay, now I think I can just... yes.
Yeah, Toya is very quick, so
Yes.
he can take down people easily.
Yeah, I'll try to display their actual moves sometimes. Nice.
This is, by the way, also one of the... I think we never really talked about it so far, but in Desperados 3 and Shadow Tactics, if you wanted to interact with things, you had to hold control on the keyboard, because we never play with keyboard on stream. But in Shadow Gambit, you actually just hold click. You hold the click, which is like nobody notices when you play, but it makes a huge difference. Like whenever I'm going back to Desperados now, and I'm like, I need to press control. I'm like, what the fuck? Why do we do that? So it's a very great improvement from usability standpoint.
Is this the thing that we changed, that Dom was so surprised that nobody mentioned?
No,
during
that's
the
the
last
view
episode?
cons.
That's
For
view
the
con-
view
Ah, yeah.
We mentioned that already.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I would, by the way, be careful going through there, because it's hard.
It's
There's
the-
actually dialogue warning you to
Yeah,
not do
yeah,
that.
yeah. I was just mindlessly walking around. Turns out, like, when people watch you play, it's starting to get, like...
Yeah. And
I have a question for you,
could
Mo,
save.
from Knife Gaff from YouTube.
Thank you.
It seems everyone has long kill animations. Can you say which characters have short kills from
Oh.
the-
Well, I mean, we have two of the short killers right here, which is Toya and Sulady as well. So these
Yes.
two are the
short
quick
kill.
killers. I think there are no others. I think
Yeah.
everybody else has a
Yeah.
long kill.
Yeah.
Which makes them very valuable to
Yeah.
have. Like, you can always do things with a long kill as well, but it's just very chill to have a fast kill and just run through it. And
I also
take
love,
people
by
out.
the way, that the shadow mode is on the side of the mouse, which and then if you click it too often, great. It turns out I'll probably be the guy who's going to comment more on the future and play less. I mean, I have to warn you, I'm quite sweaty hands as well. because
I'm
all
gonna
this
play on the
stress-
gamepad. so
Okay,
it's
yeah,
fine.
you should do that. Nobody should touch this mouse after me. All right, okay, to be sure, let's see if I can do this to a degree that's watchable.
And this is something that, like,
Yeah.
right here, it doesn't really matter, but the fact that you can just put the bush
Yeah.
there and chill out in the bush, by the way,
Yeah.
the shadows popping away is also a bug. That's not in the final game.
Yeah.
And that's very, like, it's great for if you want to just get into a setup, check out what's going on, and you don't have to find the next bush. You can just put one there, sit in there, you know you're safe. So Sulady is a very chill character if it comes to these types of things.
I think I'll just... Okay. Let me see. See if I can do some kind of... Oh, it's a three-person setup. Yeah, I'm honestly now, like, faced with the fact that I didn't have to solve these kind of things for, like, a year. Good.
So let's
Yeah.
you just rotate the camera, so we can
Yeah,
walk
yeah.
people who are not that experienced with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
games through how this process works.
Yes.
Maybe. So we've got the three guards there, and one of them is a commissarius, which is, if you know the older games, their equivalent is the straw hat or stuff like that. So they are not distracted very easily. So what we need to look at is, okay, how can we maybe distract the other guys? And what you just selected
Yeah.
there makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
Yes.
So we have Toya, who, since he is and maybe you can set up the thingy. Let's check the
yeah,
name
yeah.
right now, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
know
yeah.
what it's called.
It's a Katashiro. Yes.
There we go. So you can set up the Katashiro, so we can show the whole skill.
Let me see if I can kind of... Okay, this area should be safe, so I'll do it here.
So you can see he throws the Katashiro there, and it's floating there. Only he can see it, so the guards cannot see it. It's magical ability.
Yeah.
And it has two ranges. One of them is the noise range on the outside, and then you have the ability range in the center. We're gonna see how that matters maybe in a second. And his other ability is the classic from the genre. It's the whistle, which is one of the strongest distractions in the game. Which means if we whistle, all guards that hear it, which are the ones that are shown in blue and highlighted in blue, are gonna come to the location where he whistles.
Yeah, and I'm trying to avoid, like, luring this dude, and just trying to lure this guy away, because I don't want to have deal with multiples. So let's see how this works.
It will be done.
Okay.
Horrid thing made that noise.
And then...
Lord, he coming.
Is he coming, though? Is it too far? No, it
Oh,
isn't.
he's coming, yeah.
Okay, he's coming. Okay. And then...
This is where I would save, typically, because...
I'm a confident
Oh,
person.
wow, you're
yeah,
confident.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Boom,
press the
nice.
button, and then we have
Like a
the 7
ninja.
cuts.
One of the coolest skills in the game.
Yes.
Nice.
And then I'll just pick him up. And now all of this is obviously quite a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, it was never really hard to begin with, to be fair. But for somebody who hasn't properly played the game. And just because like my job is usually I press on invisible. We have a button there if the cheats are enabled, which they might be. I won't try anything, and then I just run through and listen to if every dialogue usually it plays correctly, and if it kind of if you can hear it all right, and if the distances are like bugged and everything. But yeah, or like I kill one guard quite quickly and just press.
There's a question about bush spawner on YouTube from Eddie.
Hey Eddie.
Can you only have X bushes at a time, or is there a limit on it?
Only one.
Yeah.
Well, like you can show it. You can maybe throw another bush somewhere, and you can see the one disappears and the other one appears.
Yeah.
Also, a great side effect from the bushes is that they also create a half cover, right? So it's not only the bush itself where you can hide it, but you can sneak past behind the bush as well. So this is small details, but if you're getting into the game, there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. Now let's look at the abilities of other characters. We have Teresa with the crossbow. She's actually like from a gameplay perspective, I think she's my favorite character because she's incredibly useful. Like she's the sniper archetype that we also had in the old games, and if anybody of you played our previous games, you know that the sniper always has the problem of ammo. Like, they usually had 3 to 4 ammo, and you would always be like, I don't know, can I use the snipe now, or should I not use the snipe now? And the cool thing is that with the magic abilities now, we found a way to get around that. So, while Teresa only has 1 ammo, she can retrieve that ammo. And like, she's shooting a piece of her soul, basically. She's not shooting normal, like, arrows. She's shooting a piece of her soul. And that's something she needs to retrieve again, and then she can shoot it again. And that basically makes her, a very useful sniper. So you cannot abuse it and just stay away and just kill everybody with 1 snipe. But you can kill someone, get the thing, set up again, and snipe again.
Yeah, which we are going to do now, and I've also very professionally set up a shadow mode things. Do you want to do the honors crowd and press the enter button?
Yeah, sure.
And then let's see how all of this plays out.
Did you save?
I did save. I mean, I don't have to, but I did this time. There we go. Sounds. Yes.
Nice.
And now they are gone. In the sense of death.
Good planning, great execution.
Yes, the button pressing was fabulous. Alright, so and this is as Mo just said, this is part of Teresa's soul that she's receiving, that she's retrieving. And we also noticed like the civilians in the game usually are on your side, so they notice like, and they know like us as like cursed people, and they're accustomed to us usually, and the Inquisition is usually more of the oppressor, so they're like happy that we kill them and they don't snitch if you want. Please.
A question from Knife Guy from YouTube.
Yeah.
Sorry if you mentioned this already, but is Korea's teleport kill an area attack of AOE?
Yeah.
So that is something
Effect.
that many people think like it's not. It kills 1 guard in that radius, and you will see which one from how the UI works if they're in there. There is a like it would be too strong if it was AOE basically, and that's why it's not. So.
And then Coco is challenged, like the Coco's challenge. Who I think he was here once, like two streams before. Our UI designer.
Yeah, Coco was in the last Future
one.
Games.
Yeah. And then because she then has to kind of figure out how to actually display that properly, so people like when you actually play it and see the skill displayed, don't think that it's a multi-kill. Which
is a tough one.
Yes,
it looks like it's hard to do.
Yes.
Of course, people.
Yes. Right, and then we have another one. Okay.
Inconspicuous bushes growing on roofs.
Nobody notice. All right. Okay, and this is the big one.
So there is also because people are going to be like, the bush is so unrealistic. Why don't they react to it? They do. And what's happening here is that these types of bushes, they exist in the world. Like they are sort of a magical root type of stuff that can grow at any time, anywhere in the world. So the Inquisition is used to that happening. Like it's not a completely special thing. And what they usually, if they see that, they're going to be, oh shit, we've got to burn that later, right? I mean, they just burn it. At some point, it's not a dangerous thing to them, but it's something they want to eradicate. So they react to it a little bit, but they're
that's the
not
bush.
alarmed because it happens, because it can happen at any time.
And actually, I mean, so what usually happens, when they see it grow, they look for a second, and it's like, oh, what's that? And it's like, it's just a random bush again. That happens all the time. This specific circumstance is the thing that screwed me at the beginning of this mission, where I threw a bush and wanted to hide everybody, but the guard was looking there for a second because he saw that the bush spawned, and that's why, I got seen.
It turns them around. Like
Yeah,
they're
it
gonna
turn-
focus the bush for a
Yes.
second, so you
Yeah.
can get into trouble if you.
Yeah. So it's there are consequences to the actions. So this setup here, did Lucas solve this last time? And how did he do it?
I don't
'Cause
think so. So, like, zoom out a bit and
Yeah.
let's analyze the
Yeah.
whole thing, because there's parts down there as well in the water.
Oh, Jesus.
So this is what we like. It's these things you have to do in missions is play these more complicated setups like this one. And so the thing you would do is you would analyze the vision cones one by one and see where the first weak spot is, and just take them out one by one. We need to get to the center there. Something that you could do right now, but I'm going to spoil it for you, will still have to kill a lot of people afterwards, is sneak yourself in there with the bush. That was something you could do.
Yeah.
But I think we should just take out some guards first. So
Yeah.
again, you could try taking that guy out, but I think that's not when you're gonna
Yeah.
work. Many people see him, and he won't leave his post because he's a commissarius. So you would probably have to look again for the acolytes.
Yeah.
Which ones you want
I
to
do
take out?
this friendly
This dude
person
is like,
quite.
yeah,
I mean, he really doesn't. Oh no, this guy sees him. Okay, we
But-
can distract him maybe.
exactly.
I have this technology. I wonder, like, the first thing is a. Can I just kind of squeeze him? No, that's not what level design does.
Yes.
That's how they get you. They're like, oh yeah, and then I swear to you guys that at some point this acolyte was standing like half an inch down there, so you could easily, people like me could like, haha, I'll just whistle this guy up, and then Mo probably plays the game, feedbacks them, hey, that's a bit too easy, and then they move it a little bit.
Or they
That-
do it themselves.
Or they do
Yeah,
it
I mean, that
themselves.
also happens.
Yeah.
Something that you could showcase now is
Yeah.
something you can also do with Toya. We've seen how you attack with his. I forgot the name already.
Yeah. Katashiro.
But you can throw it up there.
This one?
No,
Oh.
like where you are, right? Just somewhere up there, and
yes,
use
I
it to
see.
get back. Because something that in the older games, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like you just be up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something you have in the older games with the whistle skill is that you expose yourself, right? You whistle and people look at that position. So if you're in the open, they're gonna shoot at you. The cool thing with this new ability is that you can maybe.
Okay, that was dumb. Sorry, I just
Wrong-
kind
wrong
of
moment. Yeah,
ran
nice.
in.
Okay,
Let
awesome.
me save for a second.
So this is the guy. He's gonna move, right? I mean, this is the we call these the
Yeah.
timers usually because we
Mm.
level design puts guards there. They act as a timer. They make it so you don't have infinite time to do things. You need to time it correctly. That's what that type of guard is doing. Yeah. So you can get down there now. Lure him in front of the ladder, for example,
Mhm.
because you cannot get him up there.
Yeah.
And just teleport back before he like sees you, which
And-
is a pretty cool ability.
And then
So-
do we maybe can? I feel like I already could kind of
yeah.
charge up a sniper shot on him.
You could do that, but
probably that. Oh no, it looks like. I mean, if I kind of lure him here.
yeah,
let me
yeah.
see if
That's
there's a.
yeah, this is the cool part about
Yeah.
the game. Like you can, in Desperados, you would not have been able to do that because with Toya, you would always be detected if it was
Yeah.
Hector. But with Toya, you can now be like, yeah, I want to put him there. Like I don't need any cover around me if I want to use the whistle ability.
Yeah, because I know like from here that the line of sight isn't broken if I actually what's it called, lure him here. So I'll just kind of. Yeah.
The guy might still see it, but we'll have to see it. Like he might still hear it, but we'll see.
Oh, no, I stood up. Okay, how do I...
What do I do?
Okay, quick.
Crouching is space if you don't
Crouching
have
is
without
space.
controls. Yes.
Why does... I mean, like in which game is crouch... That's the one
In
gripe I have
every
with
game.
all
I
of them.
think in a lot of
Crouching
games.
is like always shift, I think.
No, that's
I think
walking.
a lot of
Is it
games it's
never
also
shift?
C.
Shift is always
Is-
walk.
What's... Yeah,
I know, like.
but it's never...
C.
I mean,
Okay.
crouch is not shift, is space as
Yeah.
well because it's usually jump. But
I want to have like, because we have like I won't open the control settings, never in my life again, but like what I want to have actually is like that we in the release, like we can have like all like the control settings of every team member. It's like most favorite settings are probably just mine, and like everybody else plays the normal way. Okay, so I mean, as I'm unfamiliar in like how to properly crouch, I'll probably get sighted here and then have to reload the game. But let me
you
try.
can do it. Press space and you will succeed.
But now I have to press shift to. Okay, I think I can do it.
Wow.
But I mean, it was too slow. Now they're alarmed.
Wait, so... Oh, the guy on the top.
they see
No, wait,
Toya.
that doesn't make... Well, I mean, just load, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can load, yeah. Yeah, that's why the Mali memorize stuff, yeah. You can ask. By the way,
Yeah, I
you,
wanted to ask, but
Oh,
I wanted to let you finish.
Game
first.
crashed.
did the game just
We have
crash?
2
Yes.
release date questions, only 2 so far.
Yeah,
So
that's alright.
still 2023.
The game crashed.
Oh, the game crashed. Nice.
How
I
could
mean, it should work, like, if we just continue, it should work, I
Yeah,
hope,
yeah.
because we don't need to load that save
Yeah.
again.
Nice.
This is a rougher development build. Like,
Yeah.
we're currently in a phase where we're making a lot
Yeah.
of new builds and a lot of changes are happening,
Yes.
so this can happen.
Yeah.
Sorry about
I think
that.
this is the first time the first one today where I'm like, this is not precisely my fault.
No,
just like
it's-
No, but
50%.
also this build was like, we had a couple of builds, like Mo said
Yep.
previously, that were much more stable because they were checked thoroughly. And this one is like a very unstable build, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Ask me these basic
Just
questions.
everything, yes.
Okay. Yes, track me. Continue.
Do I have to trigger the Toya kill, or is it automatic?
You have to trigger it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was
these
also-
types of things, like, it's more fun to do it yourself. It feels like, haha, I've set a trap. Bam, now I'm going to get them.
Yeah.
And we don't want to automate too many things.
I think it's
Oh, they saw Unseen
Okay.
Secure saw that we have
Restart
5
again.
euros
yeah.
on the bank on Steam on the account.
So what?
You have to actually. I made a new like streaming account, a Steam streaming account for us, and you have to have 5 euros on that account so you can broadcast on Steam.
What's Heroes?
Euros.
Euros.
Oh, wow.
Ah, yeah, I saw that. I saw
Maybe
that
I
when
said
you opened
euros.
Steam, then
Euros.
and he saw the 5 euros of the
Yeah,
Steam
the
because it
5
crashed to it. Yeah,
You can go to memories maybe and load the
And no,
previous
the
one.
Previous one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But heroes are also good. 5
This one?
Euros.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
5 heroes? Yeah, I was thinking, what are heroes? Like,
sorry,
is it
maybe
people
I
who
did-
endorse
I did
you?
miss it.
yeah.
Sometimes I pronounce.
I thought it's
English
some kind
words
of
are
joke
weird
that you
in a
need
weird
5
way.
heroes to start the game.
5 heroes.
I mean, yeah. No, it just crashes all the time.
Can
now.
we get some interesting information in civilians communication?
That's odd.
Mo's going to say something.
No, I'm
useful?
thinking about why it crashes and what we can do.
Yeah, because
Because-
actually an older memory just crashed as well.
I also don't know. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe you need to cheat there again, or we just...
Are you trying to continue right now?
Yeah, I mean, the actual continue didn't work, and then we tried to load an
reloaded
older
the old one. You can try loading the one
And then
before
cheat,
that, but
yeah.
I
feels like.
maybe load is broken for like much earlier. Did we actually load at any point?
No, the
while
thing is, I don't
playing?
fail usually. That's why we didn't.
So
get
maybe
to it.
load is just generally broken on that
Should we
location.
try that
I
one
don't know.
more
Yeah,
time?
load another one.
I mean, if load is broken though, then
Yeah, load another one. We'll see. Like
Yeah.
load like this one, and if it breaks again, then that looks good.
better.
Okay, so something happened after that broke the load.
What
I
happened?
think we should just cheat to the point where we are at, so then people have to see us. No,
No,
it's broken again.
it's broken. Okay, load is broken. So
in this location. So I
in
would
this
say
location.
we switch to small fort.
Yeah, let's do
The other
that.
location.
And you
So
can
wait,
play. And
we
then
have to re-cheat again.
oh yeah, how do we
I
get
mean-
to? Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I guess.
so
Yeah, we
many
can.
complicated things. Oh
Yeah, I guess you should go
yeah,
to.
yeah. You can take these things off
Okay,
me, and then
I don't know actually how
I'll
it
do
cheats
it,
there
I'll do
because
it.
they're-
Okay.
like we can't do it the way I would because we didn't spoil things maybe.
Yeah,
Because things are visible. You can give me that and I can answer questions maybe.
Too many
Complicated
devices.
cable things
Oh.
going around.
I'm not doing
Yeah, there's
anything
a
as
couple of
usual.
questions.
Yeah,
For example, if we can listen
Yeah.
to like civilians' conversations, if there's like some interesting, info to be gathered from civilians talking in the game. to each other.
Yeah, usually not. Like in the case where you have an eavesdrop like that if it's a mission objective, yes, but there is not like a kind of feature or something where they have actually valuable information. You can usually get the information in different ways, or you have them already. Because the Mali, she knows a lot of things. She's a very powerful entity, so very often she knows stuff already, or you need to actually eavesdrop on a couple of
Yeah.
baddies to find out.
although there's sometimes like civilians that like you have to talk to or eavesdrop or something, but they don't in general hold like valuable information that give you background stuff
Yeah.
or something. Something. Yeah.
So we have another question. I'm so intrigued by Hannah so and so. I'm so intrigued by Teresa as a character. What's the lore behind her? How can she shoot even though she's blind?
That's
Do
a
you
good
know?
one.
Or should I?
I mean, you can start off and
Okay.
I'll try to
So-
remember what Hamburg thought.
Teresa has like a very interesting lore in general, because you can see it if you look at her character design. She's ex-Inquisition. So she used to be a Eudex, which is actually one of the enemy types we have in the game. And that gives her a very special relationship with a lot of the stuff that's happening in the game, and she has a very interesting perspective on certain things in the game. Now, why she can see and why she's blind, I don't think we should get into the actual details of, maybe that is explained in the character story, who knows. But in general, she's very perceptive. Like, she's the most perceptive person on the whole ship, even though she can't see. So she will realize everything that's happening around her. She will realize more than the eye can see usually. So she will sense how you feel, sort of what's up with you, in a more nuanced way than most people would. Which also comes sort of, I think, from her being a Eudex, which is like the job of these people in the Inquisition is that they actually sort of look for corruption. They seek out the corruption, they can see the corruption better than everybody else, and then they are also the executioner and the judge. So they just take you down.
Judge, jury, and executioner, that's their role usually. And that's what she used to do until a certain point that we don't want to talk about now. And then she...
Here you go.
I have it. I have the thing. And then she turns and... I mean, thankful. Obviously, like the Black Pearl that she got helped her with all these abilities, and kind of the Black Pearls usually, that's all right. They usually enhances like the character traits and like abilities they have in the real life. Kind of like amplifies the soul, and for her that was like kind of seeing. Although for some reason. He didn't have any eyes anymore, but still, like, the world is magic, so obviously it's like some stuff.
And I actually remember the story why she doesn't have eyes anymore. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do remember.
When you were talking, I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty
but
cool.
it's one of
but
the
we're not
things,
going to spoil it.
Yeah.
So I would say we're trying the Isle of Penance now. I'm going to go with Gambit, and maybe we can. Let's talk about the concept as well. It's like just so we have the plan. Maybe we can then, if it works out, play the island twice, so we can show you how different it can be to play an island as well, which can also be quite fun.
Can we make these a little bigger for us, Adriano? The concept, so we can see them on our screen, so I can talk a bit more in detail about them. The Eudex ones. And we have on our like monitor screen the whole preview of us is like not maximized, so they're still quite small. But it does. I mean, I can kind of lean in and see it a bit better.
So are these Unix concepts only, or is it also Teresa? I think it's Teresa.
It's just the Explorer window is still on it. I don't know how deep we want to go into behind the scenes stuff, but it's it's not full screen.
Yeah, I think, but they can.
That's it. They can see it. No, it's just for us a bit. Please go ahead.
Kannst du das minimieren, das Controller-Window einfach nur? Das Explorer-Window, weil wir sehen die Sniper nicht.
Das
Explorer-Window, wo die Character...
When it's serious, we got to German, of course.
Du ganz groß machen.
Yeah, and this full screen, and then we got it.
Yeah,
that's it. Now we got it.
All right, so what will we have here? So on the top left, we do have an actual Eudex, which is the enemy.
What Teresa used to be.
Exactly, that's what she used to be, so this is the reference. And then we have different concepts that Lucas made for how she could look. And you can see that there's a lot of crow or bird elements that are in there, and they are still there. Like her nickname is the Crow. And she also has like a peg leg, like the number 9 or number 5 on the bottom left. You can see that there's a peg leg that looks like it's shaped like a bird leg. She still has that in the current version. And this is sort of usually what the concept, like parts of the concept workflow looks like just having a basic idea of who that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be based on a Eudex, and it's a crow theme that's combined together, and then Lucas just makes a lot of concepts like these, and the character team looks at them and discusses which direction to go.
And I think she's always actually also a very interesting case, because it's the rare case where we actually kind of co-developed an enemy and one of our main characters, because we knew that they would go together and they had a shared history. So in terms of vision, I mean, I don't actually remember what we did first. Probably Teresa at some point. But when we decided that she would be part of the Eudex order, or had a past there, then we obviously had to look like, okay, how would the Eudex look? And I mean, you could see, I mean, there were also some concept where Teresa had like a sniper rifle, but that would have meant that all of them would have a sniper rifle. We were like discussing whether maybe she has a crossbow and they all have sniper rifles, and that's kind of how they differentiate, how she changed and stuff. But then we ended up like all of them have sniper rifles. Nice, and that's her now. And all of them have crossbows now. And then sorry, the audio stuff was quiet again for a second. And yeah, there's all kinds of discussions going on, and then we decide against them having like a, what's it called, the mask of the plague doctor mask. Yeah. So
It's a good choice. Like and like the striking image in general that is there, like of a sniper character that has an eye band basically and can see is in itself intriguing, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's great. And from a gameplay perspective, as I said before, she's one of my favorite characters because she's incredibly useful. Not only because the one ability we already showed you, where she can take down enemies from afar, she can also distract using her sniper crossbow, which is extremely cool because you can distract basically anyone on the map, which makes it very chill. All right.
New Games World is asking, how can I donate you?
Oh,
I want to support
you
Game
can.
Giver. You can, but you can go on Steam and wishlist the game.
That's true.
That's the best way to support us, actually. If you
Yeah.
wishlist the game, this helps us a lot.
Alright.
And
Okay, so let's try a mission again.
Let's try a
see if
mission,
we can
let's
do the
see.
the thing I'm just not gonna load.
Okay,
That's the thing,
okay, nice.
like, because
All these statements.
Yeah, I
You
hope
heard
I
it here
can
first.
Play without loading. We'll see.
This man's not gonna
So we're
load.
not gonna find out. So
Mo is playing with controller.
I'm playing
Yes.
with gamepad because I think
Gamepad.
it's more chill on the couch.
Yeah.
I
I mean, that was quite shit. Oh, no
So
shoes.
yeah, so now we're going to a different location, but I don't think we have to say much. Let's just watch the briefing. Small. We're still in the same part of the game where we're trying to find these relics that the captain has hidden, and this is another mission where we find a
Yes.
relic.
Yeah.
Let's get
It's a
into
live stream premiere, this one.
it. True.
Okay,
Let's watch it crash right now on
Yes,
the screen.
on the
Feel like, well, okay, shit.
just run around on the hub watching parrots.
Nope. No.
We arrive at the Isle of Penance.
Pretty daring of Mordecai to hide a clue here. What led you to think that he did?
Years ago, an old acquaintance of the captain was imprisoned here. Her name was Bonefinger Barb.
I see. One of bone and fingers called.
Precisely. Though how she is linked to the captain's treasure, I cannot say.
Well, let's ask her then. How do we get her soul out of this hellhole?
Touch the energy reliquium on top of the soul prison. I will handle the rest. Now, choose our landing, navigator.
All right. So you can see this is a smaller island. Like we have a couple of small islands in the game. It has only two entry points and exit points, and it's more digestible than the Dreadwine's Grove we just showed you, which is a huge island, and we have both of these in the game basically.
Yeah.
And this one is also, I think, one of the favorites, maybe not even the favorite location lore-wise for me, because as everybody might know, I'm a Warhammer fan, and this is very grimdark. What's happening here?
That's deep shit.
So let's go over what's happening before we choose an entry point.
Yes.
So as you can see, maybe this is a prison, right? Like it's this rock in the sea somewhere, and there's only this prison. It's like Alcatraz in a way. It's only prison and walls.
Yes, but it's hardcore Alcatraz.
Exactly,
I
it's
think.
hardcore
Yeah.
Alcatraz. Like people arrive here by boat that are imprisoned in that prison. But when I say people, that's a little odd because what arrives here is actually dead bodies and that are still have the soul in them. Because when the Inquisition sentences you to, let's say, 30 years and you die after 25 years, the sentence isn't finished yet. I mean, there's still 15 years missing, right?
Yeah.
5.
So, 5?
I think you said 30
Okay,
and 25.
40 years and
Yeah,
25
okay.
years, 15 missing.
Just before
Adjusting things.
I'm just saying it before somebody
Yeah,
puts
in
it
the
in
chat,
chat
it's like,
and
fucking
like just leaving everybody.
And your soul gets or your dead body gets transported here, and it gets put through here. It gets registered right here where it
Yes.
enters. This is
Yes.
one of the most important things the Inquisition does. Everything needs to be categorized and cataloged.
A
and
lot
that
of
stuff.
ledger reading for us as
Yes.
players as well.
And then in here, which is like a thing we might see later if you get close to it, they're gonna actually remove the soul from the dead body and put the soul in a jar.
Yep.
Let's see if that actually looks correct. It might not. The jars are. Where are they?
They're put in the
He's gonna carry one now. Yeah, okay, he's
Oh.
actually carrying it
Oh,
on the
wow.
right side. So
technology.
there is a soul in there, and he's gonna put it
Yeah.
over here where it gets put into sort of down there somewhere,
Yeah.
right? There's infinite amounts of souls
Yes.
at the bottom of this prison, and there's a lot of soul energy going on here. And this is the grim thing, and the thing they do with your body, they just throw it down this chute. You can see here there's a lot of skulls down there. So it's like this is one of the darker places in the game. If we look at what the Inquisition is doing.
It's so dark that I think like these two, even the Inquisition people that work there, these two guys are like, man, that's really hard shit that we're doing here. That's one of the early conversations I think I wrote, and it's like, I don't know if Hamburg has changed it recently, but I think that's one of the weird things that like you write really early on and just kind of persists to like for 2 years of development.
Yeah.
But let's actually see if it does.
Something we can see here as well, like you can see this foggy stuff that's seeping out there. That's soul energy basically, or soul fog that is that comes from all the power of the souls being held there. The Inquisition hates that. They're trying to fight it. But if you put so many souls right here and have them dumped together in these urns, and they're just sitting there forever in all the agony, that's how this stuff seeps out. So, on to more fun topics like killing these guys who do this. So again, I'm gonna look at it. We have an objective right here, and we need to pull a lever. Which is gonna be so we can release one of the souls that is imprisoned there that we need to talk to. Which is an old acquaintance.
Bonefinger Barb.
So we can either spawn at Gloomy Beach.
Or what's the other
spawn
thing?
at
Desolate Beach. Yeah, I think I remember Hambo like cursing, like, oh man, these are two beaches. What do I call them? And then he's like, oh, one of them is gloomy now.
Let's see. I think last time I played this part, so this time I'm gonna play. And just to mention it again, you can see it's gonna be very different. Like either we're approaching from here or we're approaching from here, so we're just gonna have a different experience.
Okay. Nice.
There's a question about Teresa again from Eddie. If she only has one distraction bolt, and if she has to recover that one too.
Good question. No, she has infinite amounts of distraction bolts. She is, as we said, when she's killing someone, she's shooting a part of her soul. But if she's distracting, it's a much smaller splinter of the soul and it's more ashy, so she doesn't need to acquire that again. It has a normal cooldown like all of the skills do. So who do we play now? That's the question. Do we play the same people again? I mean, or do we switch it up a bit?
I mean,
maybe Chad can give us a couple of hints, because we didn't see too much of the characters, but we saw something.
We saw
Chad.
Yes, give us a
What character do you want to see?
I mean, I think Teresa still got so many questions, so we're gonna take her.
Yeah.
The other ones you haven't shown, from Bong Bonsai.
Bong Bonsai? That's one of these names that you should read silently before and then decide
please
be
Pincus
Bonsai.
from Clash.
Yes,
Pincus.
good choice.
He's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, Fridolin worked one.
The guy with the blue hat, that's Pincus, I think. Or is it Toya?
That's Toya.
Ploya. I mean, there's like...
But not hat, but head.
Head? Yeah, then it's Pincus, I
Pincus,
guess. Yeah. He's the blue guy. So, do we choose Quentin, Sulady, Toya?
Fisherman. Quartermaster and Fisherman from Eddie. So I think...
How do these people know the code names for our characters?
I mean, he has a fishing rod,
I think Fisherman is
So
just a little bit more obvious.
And Quartermaster is actually not the code name. I was just like, because we... Obviously,
But I think we had in some stream a concept art where the code names were on it.
Nice.
So maybe you go back to one of the old streams.
We can just enjoy the animation again once, because
and it's just so and I think the code names are like also like one of I talked about the process before, like how design comes up, like the game design come up with like what the characters do, and then they give them names because you need to reference them. So like if we have a bush spawner, we have a fisherman, and that's just like very the idea of the skill. That the what's the defining skill that they have, and then we get it and we try to but like once it takes us a long time to get a name, so at this point then we're also so used to talking about our characters with these names, so like I struggle to say Quentin. It's quite weird, or like Pincus, sometimes you forget the name.
Eddie says you have all the roles on the website. So we had that blog post about the characters with the roles on the ship. So he thinks it's easier to keep track of them that way.
Yeah, me too, Eddie.
Okay, so let's start with Quentin now, the fisherman. Now, he can throw his head as well.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't want to expect that guy, but we'll see how it goes. And the head is glowing, and it has a cool feature because we can see it's nighttime and it glows during nighttime.
Makes a good distraction at night.
Which means that you can use it during nighttime, even in the dark parts of the view cone. Now
he's taking the head.
Now he's taking the head, so we need to be quick.
You can't load.
I can't load, I know, Okay. But I'm gonna do the Pincus thing.
Pincus. Yeah.
Pincus is gone. So, what happened there?
What happened
Tell us,
there?
Fridolin.
Oh, you asked me.
Yes.
So yeah, Pincus is currently perusing the mind of the acolyte that we are currently controlling, seeing if we can find anything he's interested in, and while doing so, just running around and killing people and talk to people. Yeah, yeah. These I don't know how well people. I mean, yeah, I think there's a quite solid amount of. You can talk like, yeah. There's a lot of conversation possibilities with Pincus. We have these bark sheets, like an Excel, where like every character has have all their barks, which is like the things they say when you select them and stuff. And like they are roughly usually the same length for every character. But then you have Pincus, who can like possess enemy characters, and like I don't know if you want to like. Yeah, that could be the alarm and something. We don't want to probably start alarm now.
No.
And like so his bark sheet is just twice the length of everybody else, which I did not know when I signed up for writing him. And yeah, there's like a wild amount of special cases where you don't never think about unless you write barks, because then it's like, what does he say if it rains? I mean, that doesn't matter in this case, but like, what do you say if the alarm is ringing and he sees a corpse and stuff?
So
yeah,
he has like one of the main boons of doing this is that you can actually run around inside of the vision of the guards without them detecting you, because you are a guard. You can still see that he has his little pipe and his cane. I love the fact that he still has his assets with him, because he's a very it's important to him. And you can see another thing, which is this radius you can see right here.
Yeah.
That is the maximum range that he can be in. So he cannot like move this body outside of that range. It starts from where he possessed the body. So something you need to do with him, you can't just possess a guard and run through the whole map. You need to repossess people on your way, which creates a very fun gameplay loop in itself, where you're just trying to find new targets for Pincus. And he also gains abilities depending on what types of guards. And you can see this guard carries a lamp. And I can turn that lamp on and off if I'm controlling them with Pincus, which might sound like it doesn't do much, but actually sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's do something right here and show people
one of the footstep stuff.
Yes. So let's turn it off.
You can really handle these controller controls. Nice.
Yeah, you get used to it at some point. You can see there's footprints here, right?
Yeah.
But in our game, the characters only see the footprints if it's in the bright part of the vision cone. Okay, it's not close enough, so we need to get over there. And now I'm just playing a little slow because I want to show stuff, right? I want to show people the cool stuff you can do in the game. Now I know that we do have Quentin here, so we could just throw his glowing head there, but I'm just gonna make some footprints.
My power can help you.
Switch back to Pincus.
Classic stealth move.
Turn the light on, and then they will see the footprints, and we can lure them down there, which is great. And we're gonna peruse them.
And the other guy is so occupied with like cleaning the forest that they don't notice us like slaying a friend. Nice. We can't since we are like very heavily playing Pincus now. I wonder if we want to talk more, because like Pincus, I think like for several reasons holds us, or like for one specific reason holds a special place in your heart. Because his last name is von Presswald. I don't know if you want to go into that. Or no, if I put you on the spot.
No,
you can make
it's
something
good.
up.
So Pincus, like in all type of pen and paper games, I have always played characters that are called von Presswald. I actually have created a family in D&D where I played different siblings of the von Presswald family. Same thing goes for das Schwarze Auge, which is a German pen and paper version of D&D basically. So I've been playing von Presswalds for quite some time, and they're usually arrogant, aristocrat, weird guys. And that's what he is. So we made him like, his personality started with that pitch basically, and then Fridolin took that and turned it into some of the most hilarious dialogue I have ever written. Not written. I didn't write anything. He wrote it. I've ever heard basically.
Yeah, so, imagine like your, boss comes to you and is like, here, this is something really, really, really dear to me. I always play these characters and the thing. Please write them. If not, you're not paid. No, nobody says that, obviously. So that was it was quite at the beginning. There was a big challenge at the beginning, but then so I secretly, in my mind, when I wrote for Pincus, I always had Gilderoy Lockhart in my head, from Harry Potter. And I think you, because I think you're here, because I think Mo's initial pitch was actually quite. He was like, Pincus is like really, really, really removed from reality and like very arrogant and like very, very self-obsessed, not observe, but like what's it called?
Obsessed.
Obsessed. Thank you. So yeah, and that to everything. He's everything with self, right? And then that everything. But like I think Jo von Presswald said, at least how he originally pitched them to me, were like they were like maybe a bit evil even sometimes, or like very like dark, quote unquote. And I wanted to have him like there is some, since they are like the good guys in our game, or bad good guys, whatever you want. I wanted to have like some resemblance, like where you could like maybe sometimes not hate the character, and that was kind of the dance I danced for 2 years now, and then
Yeah, you did a great job. It's not easy to have a character like that to be actually likable.
And I don't know if he is, to be fair. Like
for me,
most of the one guys.
I think he's gonna polarize. Like there's gonna be people who
Yeah.
love Pincus, and there's gonna be people who hate Pincus, which is always great because that means he's special.
Yeah, and
Guys, I have a couple of questions from the chat. So, is there any ability skill progression that gets, or like abilities that get stronger from numerousness?
What would we have to do to free the other souls?
Yes. So every character has a single upgrade that they can unlock. And that does different things. It might give them a new skill, it might make a skill stronger, or it might alter a couple of skills, or multiple, give them more range, stuff like that maybe. It depends on the character, and there's one of these for every character.
No.
By the way, just also from the flavor standpoint, like Pincus, he's smoking his pipe all the time, and he turns into smoke, and he's basically possessing guards by turning into a smoke cloud and going into their mouths and then possessing them. And
yeah, he's good.
And Eddie is asking if there are enemies that can detect Pincus being basically in another body.
good question.
Yes.
Because we had that in our old games, right? If we look at Kate and Aiko, we had the samurai, for example, who could detect Aiko. Actually, there's not. Pincus is safe while he is in a body, but there are a couple of limitations that didn't really exist for our older games. One of them is that he cannot overtake Commissarius, for example. You can see that right now. When we're talking about upgrades, if you upgrade Pincus, he can actually overtake or peruse every character in the game, which makes him a lot more powerful. But in this situation, I wouldn't be able to peruse this guy, only this guy. So it makes him a lot more useful if you upgrade him. So, yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, do you want to ask another? I could add something for Pincus in general. I mean, it's probably now like a 5-minute detour. But like, I mean, one of the original concepts, by the way, because the one research I did like before we did the stream was like looking up like how we got to this, and I found actually one idea that Hambo had for Pincus was that Pincus would just be, or like for the concept, I think his concept name, quote unquote, is Overtaker. That was what we got. Is like we have this. Like this player character, and he or she can overtake enemies, right? She kind of like what's currently happening on screen, right? And then one idea that we had was that Hambo had actually was that the character is just a head, and that it would kind of like put his head on like enemies, and then whenever they get to another enemy, they decapitate them and put their head on the enemy, and that's kind of his thing. And I mean, I think what's interesting about that is like, I mean, we all loved the idea for a second, like, cool, that's so funny, it's just a head. But the problem with that is that it would obviously mean that we had to kill everybody.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And somebody, I think I just spied, asks in the chat, like, does it kill chain possessing if you jump around? No, it doesn't kill, because we obviously, and Mo can go into details about that, but we want to allow players to play without having to kill anybody, like making an. Can you solve that?
Okay, so another Pincus ability. Let's see if it saves me. He can throw coins around, like Cooper did. The difference is Cooper had fake coins. Pincus has real coins because he doesn't care and he's rich.
And that's why his family estate is bankrupt.
Yeah, so we'll see. This might not work out. You can see it's very close here. I'm gonna save.
It doesn't help because you can't
load. It doesn't help because I can't load. You're true.
Yeah.
You're right.
You can't load.
And I'm gonna select him and run out of, because he's very close. So it might even not need the coin, but.
Oh, professional. Nice. Oh, there was so many things.
I also blinded him with Teresa before. So
professional.
Yeah, this is again where Teresa shines. Sorry, jumping in once again, because her snipe blind is very quick. Like it doesn't have to fly.
Yeah. And that's just to finish the thought, I think it's like one of the things, like, even though we do write and we just kind of write things, and it's like very, very lore-y and usually not that gameplay involved. But then I was surprised because like this is my first big project I've ever worked on, and one of the things I completely underestimated was like the fact that how aware you have to sometimes be on like how gameplay stuff would actually be affected by the choices you made as a writer. So if we were, I mean, obviously we pitch these ideas to Mo, and then he's like, no, you kill them, or I don't know who said that, Dom, somebody who's knowledge about gameplay, and then and there's like, no, I mean, with this idea, how do we do non-lethal kills? And it's like, I don't know, you don't really decapitate people non-lethally usually. And then, so yeah, we had to think about something else. And then, I don't know how we ended up with the pipe. It just probably... I don't remember. I don't remember at all.
The idea for it was for him to be a soul vampire.
That was
at some point.
And
then that's where the pipe, I think, spawned from. Then.
Yeah, and he's like he enjoys good things, that sort of a thing.
Also wanted to tell you, Fridolin, that someone said your writer is a very cool guy. Just saying.
Oh, thank you so much.
River Z.
I
Maybe
presume.
it's a friend of yours.
yeah. I got like, I mean, it's so cool. I have
It
like
must
two.
be it can't be someone else.
Yeah, I think my mother and my sister are watching.
Oh, nice.
Really like very
Hello.
cool sister and mothers, by the way. Singular mother and singular sister. But
So third-class films also asked what just good name, on YouTube, what just happened with that green gate there. There was a couple of minutes ago.
Green Gate.
That's basically
This-
one of the
oh, yeah.
exit
Yeah.
points.
yeah.
So exactly. So I just did that without talking about it because it's a very efficient
Yeah,
way.
but some people are still like some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's look at it how it looks before the gate is there. So this is one of the exit points. We can see if we open the map, this is one of the exit points. The other one is right here. If we want to exit the map, we need to open a tear to the below, which the below is basically a place, a magical place that you can travel through, and it's a very weird place where weird things are happening. And what the Marley does when she wants to get the crew off the boat is create one of these tears, and then she creates a portal, like this one. That just opened there. So if you want to exit the mission, or if we're done, we can enter that portal with everybody and everything we need, and we teleport back to the Marley. And what I need to do for that is because the Inquisition knows that these tears are there, and this is where these guys, the custodes, come in. They are closing.
Since I'm here, I'll say it's custodies.
Custodies.
Yeah,
Sorry.
True. Don't worry.
Yeah, no.
Just
Yeah,
doing my job.
they're closing these tears
Yeah.
with magical powers, and it's a very shady job. We maybe can get into that at some other point. And so when you take them out, they basically lose control over this very exhausting thing they're doing, and you can see this red range around them. And everybody in that range will get overwhelmed by the Maiden's Fire, which is the kind of magic they use, basically. They don't think it's magic. For them it's holy, but it is actually magic from the lore standpoint. And they get overwhelmed, and everybody gets these sort of visions. We can see that right here. It's these guys, they are having visions of the grand design right now. They're not dead. Again, it's one of these things where we don't want you to have to kill people if you don't want to. You can still go down there and just stab them if you're an evil person.
If that's sort of, if
Um,
that's what you kind of, I mean, you're playing like these kind of
Yeah.
games, so maybe you're into stabbing. Yeah.
And this is sort of, this functions also when one of these custodies dies, that's expected, right? I mean, their minds are under very much duress and stress, and they will just at some point break, and then this will happen. So again, for the Inquisition, this is not unusual what's happening on screen right now. So when they see someone who's having these visions, they're not, oh my god, sound the alarm. They're actually happy for the person because they get visions of the beautiful grand design, even though it's not that great to see this stuff because it makes your brain go poof over time. But yeah, that's what's happening there. So it's basically an accident for them.
Yeah.
They do react to the door though.
Yeah.
Like they see the door and sound the alarm next to the door.
All right, let's go in there. See.
Yeah. I still have a couple more questions, but
Yeah,
I also don't-
maybe
yeah.
I'm just gonna play a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
uh,
Okay,
I'll go-
it's
I'll
always
give it a-
hard to balance, like to progress
Yeah.
the mission. And
Oh,
then
yeah, I
also
mean,
answer
the mission is
questions.
small. We had already had one giant mission. Yeah.
So Knife Gav is asking about Teresa. How quickly can she perform another action after a shot?
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to talk now. Something happened.
Sorry,
to
knife
talk.
guy. Like,
Yeah,
Sorry,
we'll
Knife.
have to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I've gotta explain something in a second because
oh yeah.
something hilarious is happening right now. I don't think we have the voice lines in there, but I wanted to do something. It's
No,
possible.
the voice line are in there.
Okay, I wanted to do something where I do a double takedown of two guards. One of them with Teresa and one of them with Pincus. And Pincus is in a guard right now. And I timed it wrong, so I sounded the alarm. And what happens if we sound the alarm is that Pincus, who's currently in this body, loses control of the body and actually
Yeah.
starts hunting you as
Yes.
well.
Yep.
I don't know
yeah,
which
I
one
was
he is
always
right now.
Regretfully.
confused when I was
Oh, it's
playing
that
it in the beginning.
Yep.
If that's a bug.
No, it's intended. Like, this is him right there. Now he's going back, and because what happens, like, when the alarm sounds,
Yeah.
the soul of the
Yeah.
guard gets so agitated that
Yeah.
Pinkus just can't control them anymore.
Yeah.
So he has a couple of very funny lines while he's in that body, because like, I can't do anything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Running
The
around.
only thing, you cannot use any abilities. You cannot control him anymore. So this is also a drawback for the character, right? Because he has a very powerful ability, but if you sound the alarm and you will play with
Yeah.
him, you lose control. So yeah.
I wonder how does it work actually, because I think you can possess enemies that carry the bell, the alarm bell. Does he like?
He can
yeet himself out of possession.
No, I mean he stays in there, right?
Yeah, but as in like, do you lose control after?
I
he
would
can-
assume
yeah,
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could.
emergent gameplay.
I would say we could try it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if we can't load, this might be a little risky because who knows if it breaks. But
I mean, it shouldn't crash. Probably. Maybe he's
Famous
just
last words.
yes. I mean, why do I say that?
So
Yeah.
can we get back to Knife Gaff's question?
Yes,
Knife Gaff,
sorry.
good-
So
yeah,
how,
also 'cause-
how like he wants
Yeah.
to know like how quick can she perform like one action after another?
Teresa?
Basically.
quick.
So when she shoots her distraction, can she like kill someone in quick
Yeah, you can go full 360 no scope with her. Like there's like I mean the skills themselves. I know the answer, so I'll say it. And then
full
just go with
360
it.
no scope.
I'll
Yeah.
show
Maybe
it. Let Friedel make his guess first, and then we show.
yeah,
what
no,
happens.
I mean, yeah. So the skills themselves have a cooldown, so you can't like use like you the distraction like 20 times in a second, but you can definitely shoot. I think very certain now, but Mo has made me a little less certain. But I'm quite certain that you can shoot like her sniper shot, and then I don't think her cooldown. No, actually don't know anymore. I don't think her cooldown.
Just say it.
It's
no,
shared.
no,
It's
I
okay,
think.
it's okay.
I think
don't-
it's shared. In
I don't
some
think
way,
it's shared.
but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong as well because these type of things change. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the distraction now. We
Yes.
can see. So this is not shared. Okay. So if you distract, you can then shoot someone,
Yeah,
which is pretty powerful.
yeah.
And
Okay.
it probably works the other way around as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. No, I knew it. Nice. So you can immediately. I think you can. That's actually how she can. I remember like very early on, you was one of the player characters that allowed you to kill two enemies or like deal with kill two enemies, because you could like distract one,
Yeah.
shoot the other, run in and like knife kill them, and
Yeah.
then yeah. So it doesn't. Yeah, I was right and Mo was wrong.
Nice.
Nice.
We also have the classic co-op mode question.
Ah, yeah.
No.
What
next.
is-
No, we can't.
No, we
Yeah.
can't do it.
No,
I
sorry.
think-
Like it's very like. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, a lot
Yeah.
of work. We'd have
Yeah.
to basically rebuild everything we have to make
Yeah.
it work. So we would love to have it in there, but
That's
we
the
just
quick
can't.
summary. It's a lot of work basically.
No.
Let's do some. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do some fishermaning now.
Do some fishermaning. You should at some point also like maybe like fisherman one of our
Yeah.
own characters or sort of stuff. Thought of stuff.
Like, I'm not gonna do it now because I don't know what happens, and I don't want it to break. But
Really should do it.
no.
Whatever it is. Do you
d-
want to talk
because
about
there's usually these things where you can do interesting stuff, but I don't think I can pull the guy out of the I don't think I can pull Pinkus out of his own range. But if I do, maybe he leaves the body. But
it? And then
never mind. Maybe we'll try it at the end of the mission if we have played it. That way. So I've put Quentin's head right here now.
Yep.
To distract a guard that is over. He's walking around somewhere. That's where he is. And
timer. We learned that's the timer.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do something that doesn't really make much sense now, but it's fun. Because he has the fishing rod, right? Okay, no, let's do something different. Where's Teresa? There she is. So we're luring the guard out of sight, hopefully,
Quickly,
and then we're gonna shoot the dude. And let's assume that he is like in a dangerous position. So I'm gonna first use the fishing rod. And get the dude. Now, there's a couple of things happening there. First,
so many
the head
things.
came with him, so I have my head back again.
Oh,
I can
wow.
get that back as well with the fishing rod. And this is where the type of synergy comes in that makes the game so cool, the sniper ammunition for Teresa came back as well. So I can use her snipe
blown.
somebody,
Mind
get
blown.
the ammunition back by using Quentin
Yes.
and pick it up if it's in a dangerous
Yes.
spot. And this is what the game is
Yeah.
about. Like this
And-
is where it gets fun.
And Quentin is like Quentin's fishing rod is wild in that sense. There's like a lot of things like with I think people have already seen Gael. They have. I think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cannon?
of course,
I mean,
Gael
now
is
I just said it.
since the announcement.
Yeah. So she has this cannon. She can shoot somebody. So they can like form sort of a what's this instrument?
Ziehharmonika.
Ja.
Ja.
Das ist das Ziehharmonika ist, aber
What's the English?
Yeah.
Accordion. No?
Accordion, yeah, sort of that. Yeah, they can kind of like shoot and pull themselves like around. And you just need them too, and you can like walk around the entire map and sort of these things. Yeah. So yeah, he's nice.
This, by the way, is why Teresa is so fun. You can just take down
Yeah.
these guys on the tower.
And then with Quentin, you can pull back.
I can pull back the.
Also, shout out from the chat to Adriano. Thank you for showing those original sketches.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
putting
yeah.
them on.
Yeah, so
That's
Adriano
awesome.
is always like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
putting some
He's doing
sketches in there while we play, which
Yeah.
is quite
And
nice.
I think he's sending. I don't. People can't see us right now,
He
but
was
he's
sending praying.
Yeah, he's doing
like
praying.
thank you emojis.
yeah. Already
So we've gotten the ammo back.
got the ammo back.
Oh, I didn't like. Maybe we didn't see that. I've got to show that because it's great. He has another cool thing. So there's another guy on the tower. So I'm just gonna snipe that one as well. That's why I love Teresa. It's just so chill. Like I could kill that guy with someone else as well, but it's just so chill with her. I don't have to stress out. So if I'm gonna pick up that body now, we have to watch what happens for Quentin because it's just.
Yeah.
They just
Yes.
land in his chest and the
Yes.
body's gone. So you don't even have to care about the body anymore. He's just stacking them in this infinitely magical widow chest.
Which is usually reserved for treasures, but he is open to like make some actual use out of them.
Yeah, there might be something precious on them, right? I mean, he's gonna check later. Maybe they have one golden doubloon, and then it's worth it for him because he's a greedy guy.
Yes, he's quite the greedy guy.
Okay, let's. see if
So
that
that's,
works.
by the way, is the area we were talking about before, where
you
they
can see inside.
somebody's
where they
currently splitting a soul from the
bodies.
corpse. This is really. How did you get through? That's so dark. Wow.
Because some people like Warhammer.
Yeah, I remember. I think I was like one of the persons. I remember on very early saying like, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if they have like this had to stay in prison after they died?" But it just kind of the people ran with it. And it's
Yeah.
not super dark. It's like this. All of this, I never imagined that. It's like
It's perfect.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's just
I have
perfect.
actually a question, which is
How
a
does
bit
the
random.
question? Oh,
But I
please,
was
that's
like
why we're here.
asking myself that when someone was asking about the cook on the ship in Toya.
Yeah.
It just like
Yeah.
occurred again.
Yeah.
What does he prepare? What do they eat?
Oh,
The
all
crew?
sorts of things. Toya has quite a lot of recipes. I think he at some point maybe even makes a sweet potato recipe.
Really?
But I don't know. And then it goes from like actual stuff. Yeah, sweet potato recipe. And I think sometimes we have some kind of magical ingredients.
I remember at some point. Oh, the
Oh
door's
wow, that was actually
it's-
quite.
it's
Yeah,
so
that's
good.
that's why it's so good.
Best
Nice.
guy.
Best guy.
So I remember at some point we were trying around with there was like Adam's family like or not Beetlejuice like disgusting stuff where it was
Nice.
like
Oh.
there was a writing
yeah,
on
yeah.
some recipe I remember was
Yeah.
like I'm just gonna use this and it sounded very disgusting
Yeah.
and we removed that. He cooks actually good stuff
Yeah.
but he puts soul ingredients in there.
Yeah.
Inquisition sushi maybe.
Yeah, it's some
Razor's
so,
head on Twitch.
it's like it's like mixture between like normal ingredients and then like soul infused ingredients. And I mean obviously like our characters being dead and all, they don't rely on like the usual human diet. So
Yeah.
when people eat, it's usually for pleasure. When our crew eats, it's usually for pleasure, not for business, if you want. And then in that sense, yeah, he just does it. It's for him. It's also like to refine his abilities. It's about perfecting being a cook,
Yeah.
because that's what he's about, like being the best at something. And yeah, cooking is one of the two things he wants to be really good at, which he is.
Eddie is wondering if
Shout out to Eddie again.
fisherman
Yes.
just removes the bodies with no limit.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, that's no limit.
I mean, but you also have someone like Sulegi
Yeah.
who's even better at
Yeah.
that, right? She can just remove multiple
Yeah.
bodies at the same
Yeah.
time. It's an ability some of the characters have, and it's
Yeah.
one of the choices you need to make. Do you want someone who can do that? Quentin himself, he's not the best killer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's more of a supporty character. He can do a lot of crazy stuff with his fishing
Yeah.
rod. I can give an example right here.
Yeah, and can I just chime in? I
Yeah.
think one of the important things is you have to kill or knock out the guard
Yes.
that you think. You can't just like willy-nilly catch every guard with your rod. That's
Yeah.
the
That would
speci-
be kind of.
That would be
yeah, then it's.
insane.
I think
we
that's
had
what-
versions like
yeah,
that at some
where you
point, but
just
it
pull
didn't
them
work.
in and then
Yeah.
yeah.
So something that is that makes him extremely powerful in certain situations is stuff like this. There is a foldable ladder right here. It's a ladder that you usually need to like have a character get up there, let the ladder down, and then others can climb in. And he can just use his fishing rod, basically activate almost any usable items.
Can
in the
he
game.
also pick up the ammunition?
He should, yeah. I mean, he can also pick up the animation. So he can use almost anything in the game. There are certain things where it doesn't work because they're armored. Like, for example, this thing he's not going to be able to use because it's sort of a safe.
Yeah, I do remember actually that at some point we didn't have these safe usables if you want, and I remember like that you could just skip entire missions. You just kind of walked by and it's like, thank you for the super powerful relic. I'm now going to leave again. I have it in my chest.
And then he can do that in little ways as well, but we don't want him to be able to skip everything.
Yeah.
But this is so he's more of a supporting character, right?
Yeah.
He's not the best killer, but he can enable things that you usually couldn't reach. Maybe he can help you hide bodies. He can retrieve things of other characters. Something we didn't show.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to show in a second is that he can also retrieve characters. So, wait, let's just show it right now because I don't know if I can find a good situation.
Yeah.
Let's do Pinkus.
Yeah.
That's not a guard, that's Pinkus. He can also pull other characters, and this is what Fridolin mentioned before, which is great with Gal, the cannon woman. He can pull characters towards himself. So I could, like, I think he can climb vines. If I had a character that cannot climb vines, right? Which Pinkus...
Teresa can't do it. Pretty sure both of them can't. I think they're just old. I think that's how we argue with these.
Yeah, but Teresa was probably because
her leg.
Well, that's that's the lore reasoning. Yeah. Okay, and now I can say, hey, I want Teresa, who's a sniper, right? I want her to be at the elevated position. So why I don't just pull her up using Quentin?
She's like, ow.
I love how they like.
She's up there.
Like
Yeah, the art department did a great job with him. Like doing this type of stuff with the fishing rod and the animations and that, like that is not an easy thing to do. So they were like, "What the fuck are you saying we have to do?" And they did it. They killed it. It's awesome.
How did Barb end up in this forsaken place?
It's her own fault she got stuck
Kindred.
here. She sold us
mention
out
again
to the
later.
Inquisition bounty hunters.
Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty part where it gets a little harder because there's a lot of guards up here.
We had
Yeah,
a
I mean, I could solve this in an instant, but the game would crash. That's why you're playing. I don't see any way how to do this actually. Now that I think, because like at the top we have the kindred sisters that connect to where you can. We have mission stuff going on. I'm silent while they talk. And they're finished. Perfect.
Now,
Give
now
me
you
space.
can explain.
Yeah. So we have these. One of the enemy types is the kindreds. I think in that gameplay context, people might remember, like in Desperados 3, you were able to connect enemies with the skill, and now we just connected the enemies themselves. We don't need the skill anymore. The kindred sisters, and they are always come in pairs. They're the sisters. They sometimes more, right? Very rarely though, so that's why I usually forget
depends on
it.
the difficulty settings. If you're playing on hard, they might.
I play on easy, so I usually see them alone, and that's the first. I play on normal, and that's why we see them in pairs. The thing is, like, if you kill one of them, unfortunately we can't save and load, so we can't really show it.
I mean, we don't know, but we don't want to try it. I mean, I could just do it because who cares?
Yeah,
we have Teresa. We can.
It's just snipe one.
Yeah, let's just put Pinkus there because it's always fun to see him lose control.
Yep. And then just snipe the hell out of this kindred. We have like.
We haven't used the quick load yet, right?
No more. It's just skilled enough.
On purpose.
I was just like.
I'm not gonna load.
I wasn't paying attention that much. So
No, I'm not gonna load. I'm just gonna kill the
looking at
kindred
the
sisters so
stream
we
or
can
whatever.
see what's happening.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So then.
She's dead. Now we can see she senses that.
Yes, we have like cool barks with like action.
And then. Whoop, she's back. And they sound the alarm. And Pinkus screams because he loses control.
And that's why. And she's also. What's happening with her?
Everyone's like, what the?
That's a soul. That's the.
Oh
effect.
yeah, she has. Oh, that's interesting that it's stuck to her.
The soul is stuck to her. Nice.
She's running around with Teresa's ammo. Maybe she brings it back to us. Who knows?
Yeah. And now
we sounded the alarm. We're gonna let that. You can see 5 seconds left. We're just gonna let that calm down.
And I can maybe because since I'm here today and some random writing background information, sort of the work we have to do then is if you kill her, we have to write barks for the other acolyte, the other kindred noticing her. And then we have to write one when she's actually awake and she's like, oh man, I've just been killed, let's raise the alarm. And this is actually one of the later bugs because I didn't realize we changed it a bit. I don't know how it changed, but it's one like during the game, at some points like the gameplay changes and I don't know what the specific change in this context was.
It was the revive actually. In
Was
the
it
beginning,
revive?
she didn't revive them.
She just sounded the alarm.
She just sounded the alarm, which made them actually easier.
Yes.
Because you could just lure them.
Nice. Yeah, in these sort of things, and then you work as a writer, and you're like, I've written these things, and then they changed. The big ominous person sitting next to me changes the gameplay, and then we get the information, and it's like, okay, it's probably weird if you kill the other side, and she's like reviving them, but it's super silent during that. So then we at some point write lines for them where it's like, oh no, you killed my other person. I'm a better writer than a speaker though, so it's probably something. Or maybe Humble wrote it even, so then it's really good. So you're trying to solve this here?
I'm trying to do something, like I want to highlight how different it is depending on what characters you bring. So I've got Pincus up here because during the alarm he went up there, so that's where he is now.
You also Teresa's ammunition up there.
That's the problem.
Yes,
that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. So I need to take them out together, right? And because I have Teresa, she, as I said, she makes things chill sometimes. I can snipe this one. And I have Pincus, who could easily reach this position, so I can take her down as well. So, because I have these two characters, this setup is maybe very different than it would have been if I didn't have anyone. If I don't have a sniper, I need to first get back here and do something about her. I need to have someone to infiltrate this position, maybe. So, it changes how it plays quite a lot, if I can get the ammunition.
So, Mo, maybe you know that. So Eddie is wondering if during the small window on the linked guys, so the kindred, if you can stuff them in the fisherman's chest or load them into the cannon of Gale and say, fire them into the ocean.
I remember Joey like having to work on these all these weird side things.
So no, you can't. Basically, I mean, ocean may be active, I'm not quite sure, but all of these edge cases, they don't work. She just reappears. Usually.
I mean, it's a good question though. I love it how people just see this sort of thing.
They already think about like crazy combos and possibilities.
And just because I'm spying it on this on our preview, and I see a very early concept of Quentin. I don't know, Adriano, again, could you like resize our monitor screen window? Yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
Was probably the very first one.
Yeah, it's a really. I mean, this is a really early one. And this is just Lucas. I think when I started here at the beginning of 2021, Lucas, our concept artist, who was here last time, and there were already like 1,000 super crazy, super good concepts, which I think were even an inspiration for you guys on the game design department sometimes, because Lucas is just that creative and good at his job.
Yeah, he did like there was like 2 pages of these types of concepts where you had just characters on there, and we still had a little different ideas of how they come to life, maybe. And a lot of them made us think about what the character's skills could be. And sometimes we have ideas for skills by themselves, and we're looking for something that could fit to them, and this is what happened with him. Because he's just a treasure hunter now, right? He doesn't have the fishing rod. But I think he already also we had a fishing character. I don't remember actually.
I'm gonna paste the link to our blog. Because there's a little bit more background info on how Lucas
Lucas does nice
came
stuff.
up with some of the designs and the early concepts and so on.
Yeah, and I think for this one, like you said, I think one of the early ideas I had for writing Quentin was actually that it was some kind of because now he's striving.
Okay, I'm gonna let Quentin die.
Yeah, no, you can't let him die because he can like pull out the corpse. But now it's late.
Okay, maybe we can. Maybe I can still get out of there.
You're probably dead. No. Ooh, nice.
Okay, I lucked out because he's telling, like, they're commissarios.
He's like,
if someone else can do it, they're gonna let other people look at it first.
Nice.
I mean, I took quite a bit of damage. I'm at 1 hit point with him, so I can't do that again very soon. I just gotta wait a bit now. Pink. Ooh.
What do they spot? Yeah, just.
Okay, so they got a investigation spot over here, I think.
Yeah. So I'll finish the anecdote about Quentin. So I think one of the early ideas I had for him, and it's quite similar. This time it's not as far away as with the whole twins from the Yoruba tribe idea. But for him, I think at some point he was like a curse. What did I call them? I actually like the cursed hunter. Ah, they found the body.
Yeah,
of
I
the-
threw a body down there and they found that, which is
And did you know? Oh, crazy.
it made. I think it made someone down here turn around. They found that body and then these
Which
guys
body?
ran down.
Which body? Is there a body in the?
I think was the
Ah,
body-
this one.
there.
But then they're like, yeah, I mean, now we
Yeah.
see you're dead, and now let's all get back. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, trying for the third time to finish this medium interesting story about the actual concept. So this one was it's like a curse collector. I think curse collector was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the idea was that he runs around and he like curses, like finds a lot of curses, and he has to. Like they have to gather like 1,000 curses, and then they're free of the curse or whatever. But then like a couple of issues with that was like the whole black pearls. Actually, we want our characters to be happy as cursed, quote unquote, and we don't have like it was too close to the whole main cursed theme of the game. And also an issue I personally had with like I don't enjoy like writing characters that are like very like moody, like I'm not interested in what I'm doing, I'm always in a bad spot, and this sort of like curse collector thing had this vibe. So at some point we changed, and I got the feedback as well. I think I tried writing it, but it didn't work because I didn't feel it. And then there was feedback I think again from Mo, and Mo does actually read like tons of writing, especially early on, and actually always basically, and gives feedback. And then one of the feedback was like, yeah, I think he needs a bit more spring or something. I don't think you said that, but somebody, maybe it was myself. And then we changed him to treasure hunter, and he's like fairly energetic now. And then for this specific final point to that is that we had like the voice actor for Quentin just gave him a completely like he just turned it up one. I had a voice in mind, and then this guy came in, Alex Bat, his name is.
Yeah, Alex Bad.
Yes. What does
Halo
he do?
Nightfall.
Yeah, he does Deep Blue Sea.
Deep
Yeah,
Blue
he,
C3.
yeah, it's Alex, and then it's BHAT. You should really go. He's a great guy. He just came in and his first, and I won't try to emulate the voice, but he's like, oh, that's a character, interesting, and he was like, wow, and just went off, and we just sat there and watched him
Yeah,
for an
I think
hour
he's,
and created. Honestly, I think he just
very
created.
entertaining.
Yeah, he just created the character like as much as I did, honestly, because he brought a lot to it. That's how it went down. Thank you for this TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah.
That's why that's why I invited you
Yes,
as
yes,
our TED Talk
yes.
special guest.
Dr. Ted.
Dr. Ken.
Yeah, and then we have a couple of new.
Oh no, this is not gonna work. Wait,
So where are we in the mission?
Yeah, we are in the mission.
Yeah, we're
What's
slowly
happening?
honing in on the object. Jesus, why is she? Oh my god. Okay, so now I'm sounding the alarm. We
Yeah.
are at a very bad spot.
Yeah,
No,
we
let's
can't
see.
load. Maybe you
Um,
can use your guns.
I could try doing some shooting now. I was trying to lure him, but she saw it, and now I'm a little bit in the pickle because she's still carrying that sniper ammunition, and I couldn't get it off her. I don't know if it's a bug or what's up, but
I mean, it's obviously a bug because to the degree at least that should she be able to?
no,
like,
I mean,
the-
maybe it's written into her inventory or something, but even then, he should be able to get it with a fishing rod, but he wasn't. So I'm not able to shoot that one back there right now. So
that would be so cool though if it works. If
Yeah.
it worked.
and now I have to sort of.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, it's hard. I mean, I think I have to leave the body with Pincus.
No.
Yeah, I think.
Where's Pincus?
Can I?
Pincus, I hear
that's
is up
Pincus
there. Yeah,
up there.
okay.
Let's see.
Oh, he can't because the alarm is sound. You don't have control. But
Well,
you
I
can
mean,
always
you
do.
usually should be able to, but apparently I can't. Okay, I have to be careful now that I don't.
Oh,
Okay, so we have the first dead. Like, I'm gonna skip
Okay.
the tutorial.
Death is not
I mean,
the-
Pincus can't die right now, which is great.
Yes.
So even if Quentin, I'm gonna walk into that door and hope they don't check the trap door.
Nice.
And we can showcase another thing, which is if a character dies in this game, it's not over, as in our previous
Yeah.
games, because they're not really dead. They're still struggling. You can see the Inquisition just can't kill them because their soul is too powerful, but they can weaken their soul. They could kill them if they took all the time, but not in a short period of time like this. And once the alarm comes down in 20 seconds, I hope I still have time to revive her.
So what happens when the timer runs off?
When the timer runs out, she's exterminated, as we call it, and her soul leaves her body and goes back to the Marley. Ooh, the guy's walking around that trapdoor makes me nervous. And if that happens, the mission doesn't fail. I can still keep playing if I want to, but I just can't use it anymore.
And there's a good question in that context
Yeah.
from Eddie again.
Eddie.
He has a lot of questions, which is good.
Okay.
He's asking if there's any healing mechanic, or if there's not, because you can basically revive your characters, right?
Yeah, the rest is, I think, the heal. We don't have any. I
So
don't
there's
remember
no,
right.
like, healing characters.
At least I don't remember writing any bugs for like heals. So
Well,
I don't know if
well,
you
that
added
would be
them.
good if
Mo can't
maybe
currently
you
speak.
forgot.
He's
Yeah, I have
in
to
it.
like.
Yeah,
This is.
yeah.
This is. I love it right now because this is.
Now
The
he-
Kindred are actually causing a huge
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
for me right now because I just can't go into combat and kill them. But I have got my sniper ammunition back, so I finally can do what I wanted to do for quite some time now.
And to kill them both.
I
Yeah.
roguely revived Teresa by doing a Hail Mary attack, and then I hope this can. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
but
what
there's no heal. There's just
There's no
revive.
heal,
Yeah,
But what I actually love about the new revive mechanic
yeah,
is because I always felt like in Desperados I always have to,
Yeah.
quick load when I just
yeah,
fuck it up.
yeah.
And now, like, as you can see, you can just continue
Yeah.
playing and try to push through if
But
you want to. Unless
She died
you have
again.
problems with the Kindred, like
Yes.
Mo.
Oh, there's a new shout out to
there's a new
UI.
UI in the
Shout out
mod.
to,
Yeah.
to Coco
Great job,
specifically.
Coco.
Yeah.
So what we can see here now is she died the second time, and I mean maybe you guys are watching that and you were like, well that's stupid. He's just dying all over again, and it doesn't matter. And that is not true. It does matter. You can see that the timer now is only half as long as it was before, so I have less time to revive her, and this keeps escalating one more time until it gets a very very short timer. So you can't just abuse it that way. I basically used all the tickets I have for Teresa right here by doing this double kill move I did with her, and now I have to make sure that Quentin doesn't die and Pincus doesn't die, so I can maybe revive her, but maybe she's gonna be exterminated. We'll have to see, because 10 seconds is not that much.
Usually you want Quentin is perfect for this. Usually, because with Quentin
I
you
mean,
can stand
yeah,
outside.
you're right. Let's just do it.
Oh, yeah,
Why
yeah,
did I
yeah,
think
yeah.
of that?
I love how
Yeah,
Pincus is
that's how it
always
works. That's my.
Oh, that's the wrong
yeah,
guy.
yep. Shit
in
happens.
the last 30 minutes, Pincus is always just on the enemy side.
Yes.
Yeah, Pincus
Yes.
is just doing Pincus things. I
Yes.
love it.
That's that's
nice.
gameplay with Quentin that I usually play. Because my style usually is, if I play legitimately, is just run in with 2 of my 3 characters, kill as much as I can, and then use Quentin to rapidly. I think that's actually why the countdown mechanic exists. Because
Yes.
for a while you could just revive them forever, and it
Yeah.
was coasting. That was
Yeah,
when that's when I was like at the top of my game. And
Fridolin abused it so hard that we needed to fix it. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good because people will do that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's just.
Free revives.
Did you just solve all that, by the way? Congratulations.
Yeah, sort of,
Because
the half of it. But I'm just in love with, like, it's hard to convey how different this would feel if I had different characters. Just
Yeah.
all these small things, like, oh no, the sniper ammo is still right there. I mean, we had it so often already, but I can just get it now. What's happening?
Maybe this.
I think you try to open the door and not the.
no,
yeah.
okay.
There we go. And it's just a small thing, and I just keep doing it over and over, but that's because of the mission composition and the character composition. I couldn't do that otherwise, and I would have to think so differently. Everything would have played
Yeah.
out so differently if I had different
Yep.
characters, and that's the beauty of it. Okay.
Even when the body is long
Let's...
gone.
Wait, where's the
For
head?
the grand finale.
Where's the head? Oh, no,
There.
out there somewhere.
Oh! What,
They-
this guy picked it up, and he's
I
like,
have a golden head. This is my part of the
oh
story.
my god. Okay, so I gotta get down to this guy
But can you not? Can you not?
Oh, yeah,
rotate
you're
him
right.
in? I'm just a Quentin man. That's my one
Yeah,
skill.
it's like he's your guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's hope he's in range.
Oh,
Nice.
He's so good.
Nice.
Got the head.
Yeah, it's a stealth. So cool.
We were actually playing around with abilities that if a guard has the head, you can do stuff to them,
Yeah,
but it's just too clunky and slow,
Yeah.
sadly, so we couldn't really do
Yeah.
much with it, because just having someone
Yeah.
pick up the head and then a skill unlocks, it just wasn't...
and I think that this is one of the great points of like game development in general. If I can make a broad statement here, try to, because like this idea, what Mo just said with like the head, and then you it's clunky in gameplay, but then also how does Coco, our UI designer, handle all this weird? Now that you have an extra button, and then we write bugs for this. The art department has to, I don't know, do animations, and it goes on, and code has to make sure that all of these things don't just explode as they partly did, because we didn't get to what's it called, polishing yet and stuff. And then so every small decision that you make, this is where it gets really broad in general, but like sometimes like these like seemingly small decisions, like very often, and I think that's why you sometimes say we don't need idea guys, because I remember very early on you're like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if, and that's, I mean, as a writer, that's like one of my main things, is like at the beginning especially, oh, it would be so cool if we have this flying character and they do this and that, or even just like a small thing. and then it just goes down this domino effect of like every department's like no, we can't do this. I mean, some of them are like, oh, that's so cool. The other people are like, oh no, we can't do it at all. And then we have level design, and they're like, oh, if we have a flying character, we have to change all of our setups. I mean, and they're already crying because they don't know which of the 8 characters are in the game. And it's forever, and it's great. And it's super exciting. Yeah, it's great. It's really great. Yeah.
So yeah, just using Pincus to assassinate that guy up there. But yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah. Everything is connected.
Everything is connected.
Everything is connected. You won't believe. I really still don't believe how connected it is. I'm always surprised when I still, it's like, oh, you have to talk to this person about it. Why? Because insert a million connections. Yeah, now I have to talk to Yo-Yo for a random reason. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Any more facts we can
share as many facts as you want.
Yeah,
but also like nearing, I think, the end of the
we're
mission,
nearing the
right?
cutscene at least, where the
At
first
least?
step.
I mean, this is one. The mission isn't.
This
that
is supposed to be an easier mission, right?
It is. I mean, it's not.
Judging or
we're-
anything.
we're
It's just a general statement about like.
We're
Big
taking our
easy.
time, right? We're
It's
just
more
chilling.
like,
Why can't I attack that guy?
is it Pincus?
It's Pincus. I mean, okay, I'm just gonna wait.
Oh no, I think.
Oh, I sounded the alarm again.
Nice.
Why? I can't. Okay, now I sounded the alarm, so I can't. I mean, okay, then we just have to sit through the alarm again.
Maybe
This
the
time I'm
alarm
not
was
gonna
over.
join combat. Luckily for me, what they saw was me sniping someone on the other side of the map, so they're gonna
Teresa
investigate.
is off somewhere.
Teresa is over here. Yeah, let's make sure that she's not. Quentin is also safe.
My head is quite big. I say that because the thing is random
that's
comments.
also-
That's like half of the
that's a good
sentence. Yeah.
Tell us more.
Half of that sentence was in my brain. I'm just like, my head is so big, the microphone's starting to hurt on the sides. But also, yeah, I have a big head.
Big head,
Big
big
head.
brain.
Yes.
Good writing.
Big head is now growing red.
You know what they
'cause
say.
and
Oh, that's a lamp. I'm not gonna use that. What is that?
use.
Oh, that's what I turned off with Quentin
yes.
before, and that's why they saw it, because it
Yes.
Okay. Get back her ammunition.
Oh yeah, and the nice connection. Oh,
Yeah.
that's Pincus, right? Again,
Pincus,
that's why
yes.
he's so casual about you.
Yeah, he's just.
Ah,
It happens very often that you get like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh no, it's
Yeah.
Pincus.
and this is what's this? Is this the ghost standing there? Is this a shadow bug?
Yeah, this is Teresa. First, oh no, it's Pincus, but I don't know why he's still displayed
So I have a question from Cruzier on Twitch.
Nice.
So they're asking about the voiceover. We have it in English and German, and asking about what do we recommend for Shadow Gambit. Is it better in English? Is it better in German? Because he or she or they loved playing Shadow Tactics in Japanese.
Oh, interesting.
So
So
I think that's a hard question. to
I
answer,
mean,
but
so the thing is, I currently lack a bit of information because I think we don't have all the German voice cast yet. So I only know about the English ones, and I can say that like the English ones they were all like really good and really a lot of fun to listen to. There's so many great guys. As we said, Alex Bad who did our fisherman Quentin. And David Rintul, and I mean I couldn't name them all. I couldn't name them all, but
Miriam Teague,
yeah, Miriam Teague as a Via. So yeah, they are like the voice actors this time. So it was we had a lot of fun recording them. It's super great. I do think that usually because I think the English ones are really good. The German ones would be really good as well. It depends on basically you can just listen to it a bit if it's actually out. So maybe the one thing, like compared to Shadow Tactics, I think the Japanese was quite a special circumstance. We didn't have that here, so it's just English and German. So I mean,
there's no
also English German.
special flavoring like with the Japanese.
Yes,
I think in the end it depends on
Yeah.
what type of voice acting you enjoy. If you watch movies in German, I think you're gonna have fun with the German
Yeah.
synchronization. It's
Yeah.
more like that.
Yeah.
If you like watching movies in the original more, for whatever reason that might be, I would
Yeah.
prefer English. I personally usually prefer English because that's the first language that we write in as well.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just the most natural that we have.
Yeah.
Other stuff is translated. It's translated well, but
Yeah.
it is translated.
Yeah, and I mean, I can say that actually today I listened to a couple of had auditions for the German roles, and I mean they were already like, oh man, that's really nice. But I mean, it was just auditions, so it's like you don't know how it is in the end. But I mean, obviously, if it's not good, then we have to redo it anyway. So yeah, I hope it'll be good.
See the small detail?
Yeah.
There's an Inquisition crossbow, and it's the same one Teresa uses. It's a Udex crossbow in the decoration. Okay, let's open the thing. Disclaimer before we do
What's
that.
in the box?
That's gonna be. I don't think that is completely finished yet.
The cutscene.
Small cutscene thing that we might see there. So
Mattis is raging at home already.
I mean, it's mostly missing.
That's
So
actually Matt
the-
and
the-
Mattis.
I don't
They're
actually know
both of
what's
them.
still planned there, but I think there might be some.
Ah, but it already.
Yeah, that defect. I think we want
Should
as
be-
part of the cutscene.
Oh, yeah.
Reach through you.
Yeah.
I summon the soul of Bonefinger
Is she
Bar.
nice? Yeah. She should be.
Yeah. Everything's well.
Marley, you stinking sloop. Hello, Bonefinger. I believe you have something for us.
You leave me for decades in this hellhole, and that's the first thing you say?
The captain rarely mentioned you after your betrayal.
Oh, he remembered me enough to use me as a piece in his little puzzle, the old bilge rat. But he's gone now, isn't he? He said as much when he snuck in here.
What did he tell you?
Said this was a precaution. A way to make amends.
Quentin's
Said if
sitting
you
at the
showed
top.
up, he was already dead. He told me where he hid that rotten old thing for you. Free me, and I'll show you.
Very well. Betray us, and I'll put you back.
Yes! Free at last! To feel the sea breeze on my bleeding shape again. So long, you musty old bark. And don't worry. X always marks the spot, eh?
Hey.
Hey.
I like her guts.
Okay, so
As did the captain.
now we know
Though I like her better
that the
in
captain
soul
hit
form.
something
Pretty
somewhere
harsh to
here.
leave
I mean, we knew
someone
that
ratty
before.
in
And
this
X
prison.
marks the spot.
She deserved
Hey,
it.
a nice
Let's
objective
go.
name.
Betrayal cut
Cool.
the captain deeply.
So we all we need to do now is get over there.
To even things out between them.
Quentin can't
What
swim,
would you have
can
done
he?
if she'd betrayed us?
I'd have unleashed a memory,
Yeah.
and she'd be back.
I think
in
so.
her
Yeah, he's
urn.
one of the nimble guys in my perception. I
Wait,
think.
can we just
I
see
can
that
help
if we?
you let me.
Yes, can swim, can climb items.
Coco again, with the information where you need it. I think that's Coco, right? I'm just saying Coco all the
I
time. Maybe she didn't do
suppose,
anything of that, and I just saw shout out her.
Wait, where's
Yeah.
that? I'm just wondering where they. Oh, if I can use the cave, but no, the caves are just. Okay, never mind.
If you go down,
Wait, can I?
it looks like no, but it doesn't.
I'm
yeah.
not sure if there's another cave there. Yeah, there's another cave.
Yeah,
Okay, I was
that's the
thinking maybe
connection.
there was a connection up there. Okay, then we have to run around.
My power can help you.
Very nice. Yeah, this is now a cakewalk since we so diligently killed everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where it pays off if you
Yes.
do that.
Yep.
The sun, the heat of the
Nice.
sand. I trade it any day for
I have to
her
highlight
embrace.
Quentin's running animation. It's just
Measures
so
and
good.
ceases.
He's
Yeah.
just
With the chest on his
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
just a treasure goblin. He's just
Yeah,
like
that's just saying. Yeah, that was one of the things. One of the what's it called? Inspiration words that got thrown around at some point. It's like the treasure. I think was this a game? Diablo 2 has them?
3 and 4. Has
Three
it,
of
I
them,
think,
yeah.
Or more, but like 2 didn't.
2 didn't. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, gold stabbing.
good old prison step.
Yep. Classic shank.
So we can use one of the trusty old environment kills.
Ah, they're back.
They still exist, yes.
Nice.
We have to wait for these guys to come back and then we can... It was here, I think, right? Yeah. I mean, we could just start swimming now, but let's enjoy
Yeah.
ourselves.
If you want, crowd, if you have any more questions or if people have questions but I just don't ask them, just feel free to spam the chat.
No, there's no more question right now, but I mean, maybe I have some older questions.
Yeah, I'm just inviting everybody. who's
It's
watching. I
always
don't know how many
very,
people are watching. Do we have anybody watching, or is it just my
I
mother
think
and my
it's
sister?
only the team and your mom.
Okay, yeah. That's all the
No,
questions.
No, it's a couple.
Love you, mom.
On YouTube we
Yeah.
have, I think, it's 34. On Twitch we have 25.
Nice.
So 60
That's how it
people
goes.
roundabout.
Justice has been
Quick
granted.
maps.
Otra ronda.
Quick man.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
specialty.
Yes.
See if
Can
this
so
Can
here,
we-
yeah, can Fridolin do a headbang
Yeah,
with his
and
long
I see you know who's asking that? I think
Yeah.
I know that name.
Toby.
That's probably Toby, yeah.
I'm yours.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Toby.
so technically that's possible. As my family is watching right now, I can't do it as well as I think the microphone would.
The pets are also watching
The pets are also watching. The pets.
from Razorhead.
Ah, yeah, nice.
Razorhead.
Yeah, they love the color.
Boop.
Now I think we might have to skip that one because it's actually changed. Yes. Is it? Let's see.
No spoilers.
Curious. That
Yeah,
Ah,
let's
yeah.
just skip that
Am
one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
seeing this correct?
We get some story right here.
I love that you see that it says now choose our landing navigator.
I still remember the
How
burning
that-
city.
Yeah, that's one of the bugs.
Screens of the
Ooh, can you show that
Saved
again?
as many as we could.
That's
Oh, the
the,
animation,
yes.
right.
I think this is one of the greatest achievements animation has ever had. Is
I wanted to post that
I
one.
noticed.
Yes.
By the way.
Yeah,
On
yeah, look
social,
at this.
but
I think you
Matte
still
said-
can.
Yeah, no, but Matte said like it's still missing like the splash animation.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
hard, man.
effects.
I mean, I'm like,
So
this
I
is
wasn't
already
allowed
finished.
to.
Others, I always thought they would go so smoothly into the water that it doesn't splash. It's like the perfect
Yeah,
10 out of
it's
10 jump. Yeah.
So Eddie has another question.
Yes.
The character trailer talked about Pincus not liking to get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
Someone was watching the trailer.
He is.
Can he KO kill outside of a body, like melee kill?
He can.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to though.
Yeah. It's like below him, but he will.
If you force
yeah.
him to, yeah.
Yeah.
We can show it, right? He also does the prison shank, but I think he's gonna get the other. Yeah,
Teresa gets a new one, I think. Does he keep the prison shank?
I don't know. I think he. Oh no, he keeps the prison shank. I think because.
Yeah.
I mean, if he does it, he might do it. He does this one as well.
Julius on YouTube is asking if there's a drowning
Making
anime.
yourself useful for once.
No, you cannot.
Well,
drown.
like enemies.
The enemies
drown a
drown.
little bit.
Yeah,
basically,
they
when you
I mean,
throw them into the water. No.
yes, they are. They're.
But
Yeah,
they're like
We don't
basically
have-
just sinking.
I don't know how it works with shallow water. I mean, you can. Oh no, it lands in his
that-
chest.
that's-
Yeah. It's not gonna work.
Can drown them in coins.
Counting coins, yeah.
We can kill
another.
this guy.
There's another corpse over there. We have enough
We can
cops.
also
That
kill the other guy.
it's like both possible.
Kill
I think.
everyone.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
shoot
Just
him
yes.
for once.
Wooch. That's most like if Mo
Classic
if
shooting
you
sound.
were like a Foley artist, it's like you have this shoot and then it's like booch. Nice. Oh, high body. Oh, nice. So that's he throws it in the water.
It's still a little
And,
wonky, but you can see he's evening.
and I
he's
think they're drowning.
Goodbye.
And sick. Like
To the underworld.
yes.
our team thinks of everything.
Nice.
I imagine someone motion captured the plunge in the pool there.
Yes, probably Jem.
Jem.
We'd likely have a video of Jem in his black suit, just kind of waving around a random sword or weapon and then jumping into the pool.
Here
And
again,
Rainier kicking him.
the beauty of I couldn't get up here with some of
Yes.
the known ivy climbers, but I can use my boy Quentin.
My dude.
Pick them up.
I'm still not yet. I'm still not yet. I'm not yet.
Good at that. I don't know how people can really like listen.
They can hear
they
it,
can
yeah.
hear it, yeah, because
You
we
can
can't
hear
really
it.
hear it, yeah.
Let's
I mean,
stab
you
some
can turn
people
up
with
the
him
volume
so
a
they
little
can.
bit.
Yeah, I don't know how. Does it pick up?
Mathieu
Mathieu,
is asking on YouTube. Sorry if already asked previously, but
just
it's
ask.
gonna be a bit too.
Yeah, sorry.
Just ask, it's fine. You can ask us as much as you want also about the release date.
Yeah,
He's not gonna say.
But can we expect a closed beta selection?
closed beta. That's different
There's
from
not
the
really like
open
a
beta
closed-
question.
Open beta.
No.
We have like
We're planning a demo.
ah yeah
And yeah, so follow our channels
yeah.
because at some point we're gonna let you know.
It's gonna be demo. We're like
But we're
working on
planning
the
of
demo
course
as we
to have
speak.
you play the game basically, or a part of the
Yes.
game before it officially releases. So
Yes.
you can check it out yourself and decide if you wanna
This
buy
one's maybe
it or
skippable.
and play it. We hope so.
I love that it says real players are fully corrupted. Nice. I thought it's not even
Burned.
like. I wonder if there's like a because somebody has to write these. This is Coco again. I'm just shouting out Coco 150 times today. Somebody has to write these screens, these things as well. And
True.
Yeah, and I wonder who wrote fully corrupted.
Fully,
Nice,
like, just
yeah.
to make entirely fully sure.
Yeah, it's just certain. Yeah, yeah.
Certain.
Great. And then we have the stats.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. Oh yeah, you
I
just
have one
wrote.
more question from Julius. If you take over an enemy, can they climb walls?
No.
No.
Actually, he can't even. He can't jump as well because enemies can't jump. So that sometimes limits you in a way. When you're in a body in a guard and you want to like jump into sort of a compound of the enemy, you can't do that. So you need to get out of the body and be exposed again. So there's subtle stuff like that that changes how you play the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it is. That's how it is. Let's
Nice
look at the
loading screen.
watch the parrots again. Like 25 minutes. 1 minute for every parrot.
Oh my god. I was like, what's going on here? Like,
That's
what a
just people
party.
chilling.
Just having a party.
Have we shown Estelle yet? I don't think so.
No.
We
Too much parrots.
That's
Parrot.
what But yeah, I think we can like slowly conclude the stream. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah?
If there's any more questions,
Parrot storm.
ask them now.
Yes. Can hang around a little bit. You can like
I
Can
maybe
kill some skeletons.
kill some skeletons, peruse some
We
skeletons.
will have to. We will have another stream.
We will have another stream.
Yeah.
What is this? Why are they? I've never seen that. This is the.
It's the shadow
The Naruto,
Shadow
Naruto run. I call
Yeah.
it.
What? And then they run.
What the hell?
What is happening? What is their goal?
I mean, I think they're civilians. Oh yeah, they have the old civilian behavior that doesn't exist in the game anymore.
What are
Which
running to?
is just the old civilians that were casually, at least one of them, able to run on water.
Well, they
So-
run away, which civilians don't do anymore. They are civilians because they're part of a quest line.
And they
right here.
spawned in
And
and
so-
they have the wrong
At
AI.
this point, I want to point out again that we're not playing the full.
I mean,
polished
it's
release.
basically the release. It's like I think it comes out tomorrow, and then this is how
Yeah,
it's going
totally.
to be. You can, I mean, at least use Quentin and get them back on the.
Let's see what happens
Let's see
there.
what- yeah.
Hold on.
Just
Look at
fully-
this mine.
Okay, so we have from
This one, guys.
Maral the Knife on YouTube. Are the
Okay.
missions replayable? They are at a certain point. Maybe I don't know. You can.
Yeah, you can. Once you've played through the game, you can replay any mission, and also play missions that you maybe didn't play. Infinite times, do badges, stuff like that.
Whole
so
lot of
yes,
badges.
They are, but it's a little different than in the previous games. You can't instantly replay them. You have to play through the game first.
And Crozier says, "Thank you for carrying the torch of the genre."
It's a
And for the
pleasure.
stream.
Doing
And then
what
we
can.
have a light saying, "Lame reskin of a game." Well, yeah.
It's what it is. It's all we do. We've spent
We just
2.5 years just
yeah.
reskinning. It's actually, I'm also not a writer, I'm a skinner, by the way. That's my actual job description, and what we do is, skinning. Mo's head skinner. What happened here? I
I'm
thought,
just shooting people.
I thought
around.
it was. I thought you were saying Quentin.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we can have
Yeah.
one last chat about some concepts if you want.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's all the old
Conclude
school.
the
This
stream
is-
with some like old concepts.
Yeah.
We've shown this one, I think, in the blog post, but maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, can anyone say anything?
I can
about
give a
these
little
concepts?
context from my perspective. This is what I got. I think. Yeah, I think this specific. I think this was just there when I started here.
Yeah.
This was what Lucas had at the beginning. It's like, yeah, we're doing this pirate game. Who knows? And Lucas like, yep, I finished the pirate game. These are all the characters. No, I mean obviously at the end they didn't. But you can already see like Toya in a very
Toya
advanced.
is very
yeah,
close
yeah,
to,
really.
it's the
Yeah.
type of thing where he did a lot of these awesome
Yeah.
characters. As we said before, they inspired us a lot.
Yeah.
It was, I think, either during prototyping or pitching or shortly afterwards is that he made just these sorts of concepts.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we have a character that might not skill-wise align with stuff. I'm not sure what the text says. He always also had ideas for what they could do.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what it says.
yeah, I'm not sure what Toya says.
Toya says, "Traveler from the east seeking to lift the curse of the shogun." vanish and reappear in the shadow.
Oh, yeah. He
Okay, so
was,
sort of, you know, and then it's like, hey, we have this design, and then he could look at these and be like, hey, I think this character also fits.
Yeah.
But there's also some other crazy stuff going on there.
Yeah,
like
at the bottom right, for example, I think that was also a concept for Pinkus once, because the idea was that the guy with the steering wheel, or with the what's it called? Is a good rudder? I think is a good word for that. I should know that, but I don't. With the steering wheel, and the idea was that the character would kind of put their wheel on the backs of others and overtake them with that, basically, and kind of you could steer them. But I think one of the issues again was because at some point we also had the decision that the main, like the character is not like a marionette player, whatever that was, like a but you Pinkus can't be around when he's in the other characters, so the steering wheel again was something like, are you the steering wheel then? What happens to you? So that's
something you wanted to fix is that from a design perspective, if the character is sitting and has to sit in a bush all the time while they're controlling someone, it limits them in a way, and we wanted you to actually be that character, as you said, and then certain ideas just fall off. And
that's the issue you had with Isabel, right? Isabel could control somebody, and she was sitting.
Yeah, I mean, we had several issues with her, so we
Isabel from
Desperados. So it's a sort of different ability, and like the initial concept for Isabel actually back then was that the mind control would be her main ability. That's what we started out with. We worked like years trying to make the mind control work as a main ability, or we couldn't. It was just too overpowered in the Desperados game, and then we actually, with Pinkus, we managed to make it work, that this is his main ability that he can use all the time by putting on restrictions, stuff like that, having the whole power level of the characters grow. And
just everybody's so strong that, I mean, who cares if you can do anything? Like,
I
mean, in a positive sense. Yeah, and this is the other stuff here. Let's see. I mean, we already saw the treasure, the cursed curse collector. I think one of the... Let me see if I can remember anything about these. I mean, there's a monkey there. Whatever that means. I remember that we walked around a bit with the harpoon guy, but that was too strong, I think.
Yeah, that was one of the earlier iterations of Quentin, actually, was the harpoon guy who could harpoon an enemy and pull them towards himself and then hide the body as well. But it was not necessarily too strong, it was also too boring, because if you have a ranged kill that also gets rid of the body in one thing, there's just something missing, so you don't have to do enough actions, and it just gets very repetitive. You just always do that one thing, so that's why he didn't work out.
Nice. I just spied a little question here in the thing. I don't know if I want to ask it.
Yeah,
sorry.
But I won't stop talking.
Apologies. I just saw it.
Yeah, can you a connect an enemy over and over again to prevent the alarm? Question by Julius on YouTube.
Can you what them?
Insta-kill.
If you insta-kill a connect enemy, can you do it over and over again?
Well, I mean, you can, but the alarm is sounded, so people will come to that location.
And to prevent, I think the part of the question is also the alarm is raised by the other, or both of them actually. So even if you kill them immediately again, I mean, maybe they would chain resurrect if you can actually manage to. I don't know if you have like 3 kills. I don't know how the alarm specifically actually triggers, because they maybe would go back to.
No, I think it triggers at that location and also around her though.
Okay.
Like so, I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably set something up where you can do something with it, but it's not a feasible strategy. I think.
And again, since we have new concepts on the screen now, this is also I think an interesting thing, because these are like you can already like recognize all of our characters here. But you can also see, I think, like, I don't know how, this is also quite old. So I think
It's old,
and I think the color scheme, the art, I mean, Lucas could talk hours about that and like give you more context. But I remember, like, we had these ones, and I don't know, at some point we changed art direction a bit. Is that a correct thing to say? Is that maybe it overstated then?
No, like you mean the change of colors that?
Because I mean they.
Well, usually that's because they look too similar in game. So you might have the blue of Blink, and then you have the pink. So this side of stuff changed. You have 2 blues. You can see we have. I think maybe in the game we still have the 2 blues. I'm not quite sure. But
in the concept,
it's usually to always see which character it is, and the outlines kind of matter there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still both blue.
And I can also, for example, spot John Mercury there at the bottom, and you can see like at the beginning he was like this fairly old guy who was like looked a bit unenergetic, if you want, and like very slow. But then in the game it turned out he's like super quick. You can run around a lot with him. He's like his like anchoring ability allows him to like gap huge spaces, and so the writing also turned out to be a bit more like he's crazy obviously, but he's also like this energetic crazy old man. So oh man, Adriano is so on point. And so now that change kind of still keep him old but give him a bit more energy, spring in his step. And also like you can see Sir Reginald there on display as well, the fish, and we can't see that in the old concept. And Pinkos was purple, now he's blue.
Now Fia is more like purple.
Yeah, I don't know, these sort of things.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of change.
Yeah,
for the characters.
Yeah,
and this takes a lot of time, especially these sort of iterations at the end with all the details and getting it all right. I'm not as much involved in that, and I'm glad for it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work,
and it's such a subjective process, unfortunately, because everybody's like, you can see these concepts and like, oh, they are really well painted, no questions. And then if you then go really in, you can like critique them for hours, but it's super dumb because they're super good. And to kind of find like the 2 or like 5 things that actually matter, and I mean, here, I don't know how we came to that, but obviously you can see an improvement here from the right to the left.
We had a lot of trouble, I think, with her face, though.
Yeah,
like
face.
The face had go through a lot
but
of
then it's always like we say that we don't like her face for some reason. And it's like, and then Lucas was always like, but then I just changed like one line, put it up a little bit, and then we always like, we need more energy in her face, and then it's like we change like a little bit, and it's a very as I said, a subjective process, and
because we had the same problem also for the key artwork. Only with her, like it was very difficult to like.
I mean, the main character is solely in focus, and she has glowing eyes, maybe some scar. It's hard to get them right.
But you got it right, I think.
Yeah, it's really good now. Yeah, obviously.
I think she actually changed once again quite
recently. Actually, she changed to this after the key artwork, so like this be a bit more similar with what she looks like in the key artwork.
Yeah.
Now it's a bit more like.
Springy. All of these. Yeah, and it's crazy how far along. Sorry, you wanted to wrap up the stream, and I'm just going
on.
I wanted
to wrap up the stream, like slowly. I was like inhaling.
I noticed that, and I was just going to say like,
it's fine, but you can like go on. I was just like,
I can go on for like 3 hours. It's all on the clock.
No, it's not. If we were on the clock,
who's missing on the picture?
We're already like 40 minutes over the.
It's only 7
Quentin.
who's missing.
Quentin is missing.
Quentin?
Okay. Quentin is missing.
Oh, because he took so long, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. I think we made so many iterations and stuff with Quentin, and then we landed back on that initial concept of the guy with the chest.
I can't even remember all the things. Yeah, but the only thing I wanted to point out how crazy close Toya is, because he was already one-armed. I thought that was something that we came up with on the writing part. It was just Lucas all along again. Just drew him one-armed. It's just like, that's how it's going to be.
The first concept we saw was already basically him.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. It's like
already 90%.
Yeah, I thought that we like that it was the writing genius of Mimimi who came up with the one-arm thing, but there's no genius there. It's just idiots who follow the big head.
Brain.
I mean, Hambo is also there, quite pronounced actually in the fact that he wrote like 60% of the script. But so it's just great concepts that we're allowed to work with. It's just super nice.
A recommendation from Kruse. You should add developer commentary to the islands once you have finished the missions on them. Really interesting to learn about the background of the game design. Well, maybe we're gonna do that like in streams in the future.
You should have a level designer here. They are much more interesting than I'm.
That's a good.
Is it actually Quentin's head, by the way? It's not, right?
On the very right?
No, like the actual head. Yeah, it's.
I always imagined it would be, but I mean the death of the author is starting to get real now, so people might assume what they want, and then they think. So I always thought that this is his head, and he just put it somewhere cursed, and it's golden, but he likes it. It just it's part of his soul thing. And it's also And can you spot which of the heads? This is the kind of great thing that
you just said it. I think so.
I just say it. Oh yeah, nice. I mean, obviously people can see it. It's just don't worry about it. It's just so great. This is kind of the luxury that we get to work with. You get these things in, and then we're like, oh, I like 7, and we have to argue for it. But all of these are great, obviously.
But I mean, it says different things, right? The 7 has more pirate vibes
definitely,
because he has a bandana. The others are just kings, and so.
I mean, yeah,
It
you
has
think,
both.
yeah, but you're like, yeah, obviously he isn't the king. He just stole these treasures.
Yeah, exactly.
You could,
But I
you
mean,
could go all ways, and that's
Yeah.
how good the 7 is, because it has both.
It has
There's
both,
the crown
exactly.
and there's the
it
banana.
has both in it.
It's so cool. You have and you can see banana on 6. Yeah. But you can imagine like how people would argue on for hours about I like 4 because 4 has this really nice crown, and I can imagine stuff. But then like finding one of them, I mean, is easier than drawing them. But that's what we do. We just pick one of them, and argue for it for an hour. Yes.
That's what we do. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Great.
I'm gonna wrap it up now. I
Wrap
think.
it
Wrap
up.
it up now, Cloud.
Just rhyme it out.
Well, Mo is our
Yeah.
rhyme.
No,
Put
I'm
him
not
on the
tired
spot.
to rhyme.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching.
Yes. Thank you so
the
much.
stream. It
Can
was maybe a little bit chaotic in the beginning with
and it continued.
We
with a little
pulled it around. We
hiccups.
pulled it
Yeah.
around.
Once
did
Mo
it.
overtook
We
the
did.
controller,
Well, it wasn't
everything.
me. It was just
But
the location.
I think in the next stream we can show you a little bit more of the characters maybe again.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot.
Yeah, so watch
Yeah.
our channels, our
Yes.
social media channels, Discord. Join us on Discord, where you can also ask us questions anytime. Maybe Adriano can drop the link in the
Yes.
chat, or I'm gonna drop it later.
Yes. What is this like? What do you say? Like, subscribed.
Like, subscribe, and I don't know.
Follow,
Hit that like
com-
button.
Wish list.
Wish list.
Yeah.
Wish list on
Everything
Steam.
else
That's
doesn't
the
matter.
most-
No,
Really
yeah, of
wish
course, but
list.
like for the YouTube, you
Ah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you have to say like
Yeah.
and subscribe
Yeah.
first, and then
Wish list.
But yeah, wish list the game on
Yeah.
Steam. If you haven't already,
Yeah.
it always helps us a lot,
Does help.
and it helps us to make the games we love to do. And then see you next time. I say.
You say that. I agree with that.
Mateys.
Mateys. And Adriano's, as we speak,
He's
dropping the link.
Yeah.
I hear fervent typing.
he's
And I think-
furiously.
Yeah, they heard the
typing,
enter.
quick.
Get that wish
So
list.
so thank you for watching. Wishlist
Yes.
now, and see you next time
Yes.
for another dev stream. From
Watch the
me
stream
and-
or walk the plank. Yes, someone said that. That's beautiful. Crozier. Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Yeah.